Hello, everybody. Welcome back to another edition of Logan's Lowdown. I need to get more into the picture. I'm Logan, in case you didn't know that already. And I'm joined today by the one and only Rachel Laine.
Hi.
Hi.
I've never been on a podcast.
I'm glad to have been your first time.
Thank you.
You're welcome. You're welcome. How are you?
I'm very good.
How was work?
It was good. Busy.
Yes. Is it never not busy?
Not usually, no.
It's usually back to back all day.
That's like what I'm used to.
So,
Like a machine.
yeah, I mean, the daily grind.
Should probably tell them what I do.
Yes.
So they don't get nefarious ideas.
Yes.
I'm a barber.
Barber.
Yeah.
Do you ever think, you know what's weird is growing up, whenever I walked into a barbershop, like when my dad would take me to get a haircut, the barber was always a dude.
Right.
And when I didn't go to a barbershop for a long time, I went to like Sports Clips. I was such a...
It's okay. I worked at Great Clips for a bit.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh,
Everybody,
cool.
A lot of people start out like that.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay. And then like when I got older, I was like, oh, I'm going to go back to a barbershop. And that's where I met Alyssa. Mm-hmm. And I never knew, I always thought like, this is going to sound so not politically correct, but I always thought barber was like a male term.
Right. A lot of people do.
Is it? It's not?
No.
Okay. So it just described, like if I looked up barber in the dictionary, it's just one who cuts hair.
Right. Or like men's hair specifically.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So a barber would be somebody that's doing men's hair specifically.
Right. Like more shaves and fades and.
Okay. And then.
Like a hairstylist would be.
Yes.
Yeah.
For a woman.
For women.
Okay.
Am I looking at you or the camera?
I don't know.
Either one?
Either one.
I feel like I'm on a talk show and I should address everyone in the room.
Well, you can look at me.
Okay.
Or you can look at the camera. I do that sometimes.
I'm going to occasionally look at
I'm like Deadpool. I occasionally just like turn and
Break
like
the
wink
fourth
at the...
wall.
Oh, yeah, all the time. And I
Yeah.
just like...
But no, a lot of people do think that it's all men that are barbers.
That's what like threw me off when
Yeah,
I went to a barbershop, and Kennesaw Barbershop was mostly women.
Right.
And I was like, oh, I thought... But
yeah,
now I know.
I mean, I started out doing a lot of women's hair. I think a lot of people do. And then I worked at a salon up in Cartersville, actually.
Really?
Yeah, and a lot of the girls didn't want to do men's hair. And so I quickly realized that I hated doing women's hair, and I started cutting all the guys' hair. And then here I am, and I love it. And I love telling people I'm a barber, and they look at me like, oh, you're a barber? I love that.
Really?
I love that you think that it's all men. Yeah.
Wow, yes.
I like challenging that.
Until this very moment, I had no idea that barber was a...
Right. I feel like the word kind of has a little bit of respect to it. When you're like, I'm a barber, they're like, oh, she's legit.
Yeah, for
like,
sure.
They're legit.
It'd be it's a difference between you saying, oh, I'm a barber, and like, oh, I cut hair.
Right.
Like barber's kind of like this, like, it's more oomph behind it, kind of.
It's probably rooted in a little misogyny, but
Maybe
okay.
a little bit.
But it's okay. We
But
like
that's okay.
challenging. I like challenging those ideas.
Yeah. Very cool.
Yeah.
So you're Rachel. Mm-hmm. You always have been.
Yes.
Yeah.
As far as I know.
Yeah. I know you said before we started that you hate the whole stand up in your high school class and tell everybody about you, but like, who are you?
What do you mean though? Like, what do you
like okay.
Like, what do I do all day, or like in a very like
I don't
cerebral
know.
sense?
That's a very good question. Everyone always answers it differently. So like, who is Rachel?
I guess I'm a creative.
Okay.
Yeah, I like all things creative. I have a lot of hobbies. My job is creative. I like to cosplay. I like to make things with my hands. I like to paint. I like to sing. So
You are a creative.
I like to, yeah, I get it. My mom was a creative.
Really?
Yeah.
Is that where it comes from, you think?
Yeah, she's a seamstress, a muralist. She
Oh, wow.
sings. So I come by it honest.
Dang.
Yeah.
Does your mom live locally?
Yeah.
Really? You close with her?
Mm-hmm.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
Do you guys ever do like creative things together?
Yeah, we've sang together. Like we make cosplays all the time. I remember being a kid back before, like cosplay, if you think about it, it's kind of like a relatively like new thing.
Yeah.
Like last 10 years, right?
Oh yeah, for sure.
And like if you wore themed outfits somewhere before, you were like a weirdo, right?
Oh yeah, for sure.
Now it's like cool.
I remember back in middle school, people would make fun of people that went to like Comic-Con and dressed up as like
well, that was me.
superheroes.
Yeah.
But I always thought it was cool because
Sure, yeah.
I've always been a nerd.
Well, I didn't know any better.
Yeah.
You know, I never had a chance of being normal with the parents that I have because I didn't know it like wasn't normal to wear like costumes to like midnight premieres for movies.
Really?
So we would go to like every midnight premiere, like my mom would pull us out of school and we'd go. I remember seeing Revenge of the Sith. She pulled us out of school and we went to the movie theater and I dressed it like Padme and my sister was Obi-Wan. And my sister made her costume. I think she was like 8.
Wow.
Yeah. And like no one did that back then. They confiscated our lightsabers.
Yeah.
Because they were weapons.
Yeah.
And like Harry Potter premieres, we always dressed up. So then like just kind of fell into cosplay. But to me, it's like normal. Like I never thought it was weird not to wear costumes. I always went crazy on Halloween. I would come downstairs in high school, just painted my face for fun. And my parents would just be like, oh, hey, like it was just normal.
What about your dad? Was he a fun dude?
Yeah. He's a fun guy. He's not really like a singer or he loves music, but my mom always says he can only carry a tune in a bucket. So like he's not really like an artist or anything, but he is an appreciator of us and he is such a good hype man and he's such a girl dad.
Really?
Yeah, he's so sweet.
Do you have siblings?
I have a sister.
Yes. And then no brothers.
No brothers.
So just a sister.
Just a sister.
Okay. Gotcha. Now I know that story. Where'd you grow up?
Here. Yeah, in Georgia.
Cobb County.
Cobb County.
Very good.
Is that a good explanation of who I am?
I think so. Yeah, you did a pretty good job.
Yeah.
That's like your elevator pit. Like,
I just think I had to pick a job that was creative because there's certain people that can like work for the weekend and I'm not one of them. Like I have to like my job. I have to be able to move around and like use my hands, talk to people, be creative. And I look at cutting hair as like sculpting kind of.
It's true.
I'm really good at sculpting. Like,
are you?
Yeah, I am.
Like actually sculpting?
Yeah. And painting. And so like I kind of look at it like blending hair is like blending like clay pieces or art, like painting. So it's just like artistic to me. It's just like a different medium.
I didn't know you were into art as much as you are.
Yeah.
Wow.
I was art club president in high school for 2 years.
Really?
Yeah. Not to toot my own horn or anything, but
Wow. Did I tell you about my newest venture?
No.
I have not told you about this. We're going to have to probably talk more about this off mic, but
okay.
I've recently become, in the last, I think 2 weeks, I was chosen to be on the board for the South Cobb Arts Alliance.
What?
It's this like local nonprofit organization.
How did you get chosen for this?
Someone recommended me to be a director of marketing.
Okay.
Somebody that I work with actually at my day job, they said, hey, I just became a board member of this place. I'm their director of like membership. I think you'd be a good person for this. And I was like, okay. So they board voted me in and I am a person. I went to a board meeting this morning.
Sweet.
Yeah. So
another thing on your resume.
I guess so. Yeah.
Are you artistic?
I'm artistic. No, but creative. Yes. I mean, I appreciate art.
You're a patron of the arts.
I
dad.
am. Oh yes. I absolutely appreciate art.
When you see it. Talent when you see it.
Oh yeah. I can point it out and think like, God, that's gorgeous. And whether like somebody could walk up and just be like, that's just a painting of a swimming pool. I'm like, no, but like, do you see the lights? But the way the lights collide, the different blues that she used, it is hard.
Yeah.
When we were at our meeting, they have this, we meet at this place in Powder Springs and it's like all of these paintings and stuff that local artists have put together that they just decided to hang up in like our little house that we meet at and have our meetings at and stuff. And it's, and there's like all these local pieces from these local artists. And it's really cool. And yeah.
What makes good art though, you think?
I don't
like sometimes you see something that looks like they did it with a plastic fork and it's worth and I'm like, you did that with your foot, didn't you?
I don't know.
This is like $5,000 and then like, cause like think about it. If you saw something that Picasso did today, would you immediately be like, yes?
No, probably not.
Right. But it's Picasso.
Yeah. But so like what got him that name?
But what got him the name, I think, was the fact that he was one of the first people that did that style of art.
Yeah. He like was a trendsetter.
Yeah.
He kind of like, he broke out of the mold that already existed.
Like when you really think about it, like anybody can paint like that.
And that's true. And so that's the thing that I think is fascinating about art, whether you're talking about literal art like drawings, paintings, it is subjective, is that a piece of shit to me could look like Picasso to you.
Yeah.
and vice versa.
Yeah.
So
Do you have like a favorite artist?
I don't really. I just appreciate good art when I see it. Like I don't
Again,
like
art nerd here. Art
Yeah,
club
I know.
president.
People that I didn't even realize I was such a lover of art until this very moment. But like, it's not something you think about because like everything can be art. I mean, the person who, I don't know, designed this screensaver. I mean, they had that vision. The person who designed your outfit, that person was an artist.
Yeah.
The person who, is the director of Jurassic Park, that guy's an artist. Steven Spielberg, that's an artist. Everything is art, kind of. I mean, the person who designed this couch. I mean, they picked the colors, they picked the style, they picked the way it's supposed to feel. That's all art. And it's really cool.
It is cool.
Damn. I didn't know I'd be getting deep about art.
I know, right? I like Impressionists. I like Monet a lot. He's like, I have prints all over my house of him.
Really?
Yeah, I've seen his art in person.
Really?
Yes, it's amazing.
That is a fantastic
Yeah, that's one thing, like my parents, like I really, looking back, appreciate that they did for me and my sisters. So, okay, my parents met at the High Museum.
Okay.
Isn't that like so cute?
That's very cute.
Isn't that like a movie?
Yes, it is a movie. We should make a movie about that.
I could tell it really quick. I could tell the story really quick.
Let's hear it.
Okay, so my parents were both in this like young careers group to like meet people their age. And my mom was walking around passing out popcorn, and my mom's a dresser too. Like she's like a clothes horse, and she had this like black, white, and red dress on, and she passed popcorn out, and she gave one to my dad. And my dad had a black and white shirt on, or with like a red on it, like, and he was like, "Oh, we match. We should sit together." And so I know the Riz, right? And so he
so much Riz.
I know, right? And so he like went and sat down. They went and sat down, and there was some African dancers like doing a demonstration. And my mom is like fearless. Like she does not give a crap about like what people think of her. Like just will do whatever.
Just lives her best life.
She lives her best life always.
And we're all
like,
living
honestly,
in it.
Like we should all try to be like her. So the African dancers were looking for people to come up on stage. And so my mom like pulled my dad up, was like, let's go. And they just met like a couple minutes before.
Yeah.
My dad went up there with her, and they like taught them a dance in front of everyone.
Wow, this is literally a love story.
I know, isn't that like a rom-com?
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah, and then they like dated afterward, and they had like such an Atlanta love story. Like they would go to Chastain Park and do ushering and get to see the shows for free. Yeah, and like the next day, my mom said she had like an extra ticket to go usher, like an extra, like someone dropped out.
So she called him.
She called my dad, but it was before cell phones, and so she left a message on his answering machine. She didn't know if he even got it. He just showed up. I know, isn't that like a movie?
Oh, it is a movie.
So my point in saying all that is like when we were little, they had us membership at the High. And so we went to see the High all the time. I got to see the Terracotta Soldiers, Monet. I got to see Persistence of Memory in person, the Melting Clocks, Dali. Which
I've never been.
Yeah, it's amazing. And let's see, the Dutch Masters. The Dutch Masters are gorgeous. And it has like, you look at these paintings and they're like the tiniest little details. And there's like, in the foreground, and then you go back and back and back, and like the depth in these paintings. And I got to see all that like at such a young age, and I think it was just like so cool.
And it probably had a huge
for sure
part in crafting who you are now.
I think like a lot of people need to show their children a lot more culture, not at the risk of sounding pretentious.
Yeah,
I think we need to like put down the iPad and like, how about we take them to the High Museum? Like, I don't know.
Yeah, and if they're bored at the High Museum, don't give them an iPad.
Right.
Make them
look at this art.
Look at that sculpture.
Yeah.
Look how cool it is.
Appreciate it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So anyway.
I could go on a rant about iPad kids.
I could too.
I hate. I know a lot of people that do iPad kids.
At the barbershop.
Do you really?
Yeah.
Mom and dad or dad's getting a haircut, so kids playing with his phone.
Maybe there's a time and place for it. Maybe if you're in the car or like you're waiting somewhere, or like if it keeps the kid from screaming while they're getting a haircut. I'm not going to say I don't appreciate it, but like the people that don't have any technology for their kids, mad respect. Just like talk to them. Mm-hmm. I hate when you go out to dinner and they're sitting there on their iPads. Mm-hmm. Like, why are you here?
Yeah.
Why are you paying for your kid to eat here when they're just.
Yeah.
You know?
They don't care.
They don't care. Talk to them. Have a conversation.
There's like an over-reliance on it, I think.
Right. And like my parents, like they like age appropriately, but like they would just talk to us like people. Like,
yeah,
I never was like talked to like a baby.
No,
obviously they're not going to talk about everything with me because I'm a child, but like I was like, I don't know, I just think that's like the way to do it.
I think you're right. I mean, I feel like, I mean, when people say like, well, how am I supposed to control? Well, I'd be like, we were controlled without tablets.
Yeah, we were fine.
our parents just figured it out.
My dad would be like, go outside and don't come back until the streetlights come on. Go build a fort.
Yeah.
Okay.
My dad would be like, go play in the mud.
Yeah.
Come back when it's dinner's time. Yeah.
And we knew like where we were supposed to go and not go, who we were supposed to not talk to.
Yeah.
Like, I turned out okay. I remember being like 5 years old. My grandparents had like 12 acres in Douglasville with a creek on it. I remember being like 5 and shimmying across a pipe over a creek. And my grandma had no idea where we were.
A kid today would never.
Yeah.
A kid today would be like, a pipe?
Over like a large creek.
Damn.
That's like one of my earliest memories.
Really?
Like on my stomach, like shimmying across this big sewer pipe.
Do you have a good memory?
Pretty good. I remember my childhood better than I remember like yesterday though.
Really?
For some reason, yeah.
I have a horrible memory.
Really?
Horrible.
I have like, I'm kind of like a detail person though. Faces and names, I always remember. I could literally pick you out of a lineup of like 1,000 people after meeting you one time.
I can remember
that's
things.
Like an art thing though.
Yeah, it
like
might
a
be.
Visual thing.
Honestly.
Yeah.
I remember things more like, I remember scenarios, but I don't remember like, I also hate how much I say like.
Me too.
But I'm thinking, because I'm thinking about it now. I can remember things that are like circumstances, but if you asked me, to like what I had for dinner 2 nights ago, I have no idea.
I don't remember things people say.
I have to sit here and think about it for a second. What I had for dinner 2 nights ago, I have no idea.
Honestly, I don't either.
I had chicken.
I had soup.
Chicken and mac and cheese.
That sounds really good.
It was barbecue chicken kebabs.
I made soup. It was really
Soup. Are you a soup girl?
I mean, I'm like an everything girl.
Really?
I'm not a picky eater.
Really?
Yeah.
Must be nice.
There's like 4 vegetables I don't like, and that's like it.
Really? What's like the number one thing like you will not eat it? Like if I put it in front of you, you're like, no, I'm not doing it, man.
Innards.
Innards.
Yeah.
Like
chitlins or like lung or like liver or something like
okay. I feel like that's a normal
thing. A lot of
thing.
people are on the same page about that.
I think so. I'm on the same page.
Obviously like innards. This is what my mom calls it.
Innards?
Innards.
I mean, that's what they are. They're innards. Yeah. Like if you're watching a horror movie and someone's stomach gets slashed and their innards fall on the floor, what else are you supposed to describe them as?
Well, now they're outards. Anyway.
That was really good. I like that.
I don't know. I don't really like a couple. The unfortunate thing is the vegetables I don't like are all the vegetables that come on a all you can eat. What's the pizza with everything on it? Pizza. Supreme
yeah, like
pizza.
Everything pizza.
Yeah. So I feel like guilty about being picky about that because I don't like people that are picky. Like they kind of annoy me sometimes.
Yeah, you would not like going out to eat with me.
I don't know. It's just like grow up.
I mean, look, I know. It's like probably my biggest flaw, honestly.
Because like even the things I don't like I would still try them if someone was like, oh my God, like try it with this sauce or like it's really good in this dish. I'd be like, okay, except for innards. But like actually I've eaten haggis before. Wouldn't recommend. But like, yeah, like I don't like mushrooms or like I don't like raw tomatoes. But I like tomato byproducts. Really? Yeah, I like sauces and soups and whatnot. Yeah. So I don't know. That's another thing my parents like raised us not to be picky. Like we just like ate.
I'm jealous. Yeah. My parents I feel like just gave up. They were just like,
my dad would literally turn the lights off and be like, see you tomorrow.
Yeah, I know.
We're going to sit there.
It got to that point, but it was already to the point where we were old enough that I was like, okay. Like, and I tested them, and eventually my mom would be like, go to bed.
She just let you off the hook.
Sometimes, but sometimes she'd be like, you're not getting up unless you finish that thing.
It makes me wonder like what kind of parent I'm going to be. I feel like I'm going to be like a hard ass.
I know, right? It makes me want to, I want to make my kid not like picky at all.
Right. Well, I feel like I'm going to be a hard ass up until the point where it's like, I don't know, like I'm going to be chill until you test me.
Yeah, I feel like that's how my dad's always been.
That's how my parents were. Like they were super chill. Like, but until like we got spanked and stuff. But like I think I remember like a handful of times.
Oh, I got spanked. Me and my siblings got spanked.
We did. I got hit with a belt like one time, and me and my sister were like fighting or something. But like I don't know. I turned out fine. Yeah.
There was a time that I made the bold mistake of like I think I was old enough that spanking me probably wasn't the right form of discipline. It was I should have just been like grounded or something. But my dad spanked me and I started laughing. Because I was he was like, oh, you think this is funny? And I was like, kinda. I was like 13 and just mouthing off. Yeah. I was like, kinda. And he was like, I'll show you something funny. And he like spanked me harder. God, it was horrible. Dang. But I won't forget that. Yeah. I do not forget that memory at all.
Teenagers are like so annoying though.
Oh, they're demons.
Yeah. I've turned into like the old like curmudgeon.
Oh yeah. Yeah. I'm like these kids blasting their music.
Or like the trends of today. Like how many like dumb haircuts. So I'm like, fine, Braxton.
Does it kill? Okay, so let's talk about what you do. So you're a barber. What do you? So there's been points in time when I've told Alyssa to do something to my hair, and she was like, "No." But we have the rapport that she's comfortable enough to tell me, like, no.
First of all, Alyssa is an angel.
Yes,
she's a literal angel.
Shout out to her.
She's beautiful and so smart and so sweet.
Agreed.
Anyway, yeah. There are times when somebody wants something that is not good for them. I don't know how to.
Do you tell them?
Yeah.
Are you just like,
I used to get like really weird. Like I used to get like feel guilty, and now I'm like, I don't care. I'm just like, that's not going to look good on you. I mean, I'll do it. You're paying for it. It's your funeral.
Yeah.
I don't say that, but like, I'm like, I mean, it's your haircut. I just want you to be happy. That's the PC version. That's the professional version of it's your funeral.
Yeah.
I just want you to be happy. But like, sometimes, yeah, it's like, it's not going to work out.
Yeah.
I just tell them. Or the one thing that is annoying, and women do this more than men, is they'll show you a picture that looks like it's like a model. And they're like, I want this haircut. And I'm like, okay, well, your hair looks nothing like that. So what? And then I got smart and started saying like, what about this are you liking right now? Yeah.
So,
like, what about this picture is like doing it for you? And
I used to be that guy.
Yeah.
When I was like 16.
Yeah.
I'd be like, I kind of want that. And somebody at some point, so I've always had a really bad receding like hairline. It's not as bad anymore, but like when I was like, my hairline was like this when I was in like middle school.
Same, look at mine.
Yeah, yours goes back. And one day somebody at Sports Clips was like, listen, bud, you can't do that hairstyle because your hairline does not allow for it.
You want like a straight up comb over.
Yeah, and I was like, no.
Yeah.
So I've had the same hairstyle for like 10 years.
I would appreciate it if someone was honest with me and was like, yeah, your hair texture is just like not going to do that. Or like, your hair, never had that happen because I have good hair, but.
Yeah. Is that your natural hair color?
Sure.
Sounds like that's not your natural hair color.
If I bought it, it's mine.
Okay. Heard.
No, my hair is like brown.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Just kind of like boring brown. Yeah. I've had it blonde. I've had it red. I don't know.
That's good red.
Yeah. I
feel like that's the only color I've ever seen it. I don't know if I knew you
I feel like
when it was brown.
Brown, light brown. That picture, we have to talk about this too.
Yes, we do.
That picture I sent you from several years ago was like a brown.
Yeah, that's true.
So I just like natural colors. I'm not like a fun color girl. Because I like to like do like historical cosplay and stuff, and I just like to look like historical.
Yeah, like right now, you're a '90s schoolgirl.
Yeah, I feel like it's like that movie The Craft.
Yeah,
like I didn't do it on purpose. It just kind of the theme kind of finds me. Yesterday I was like a Victorian witch.
I just dress like a dad. Right now, I'm wearing the joggers. I don't look as much like a dad, but I'm just dressed like a
guy.
Like a guy.
Yeah.
I've always just dressed like a guy. I dated one girl at one point. She was just like, stop dressing like a dad. And I was like,
yeah,
no.
I wish more people would like step up their style a little bit.
I need to.
I feel like everyone's going to be like, this girl's so pretentious. I swear I'm not trying to be.
She's literally so nice.
I wish that we could go back to like a time where people dressed for things. Like dress to get on an airplane or like dress for dinner. Like, and I'm not saying like the queen's coming over. I'm just saying like elevate it a little bit.
Don't wear a band t-shirt and shorts to your steakhouse.
Like I've been to steakhouses before and I wore like a velvet dress.
Yeah.
And I looked over and there was a guy wearing like ripped jeans and a t-shirt.
Yeah.
But isn't it kind of fun to like dress up? Like
I love dressing up.
How often do you really get in today's modern world to dress up? How many opportunities do you get?
Like maybe 4 times a year.
Maybe a wedding, right?
Yeah.
That's it.
Tonight we're going to a steakhouse for this year's Friendsgiving. Our friends were like, we have a few friends that are pregnant, and they were like, can we not do a lot of effort in cooking this year? Can we just go to like a nice dinner as a group of friends?
Yeah.
And I was like, yeah. So we're going to a steakhouse, and we're all going to dress up.
I love that.
Decently nice.
I love that.
And I'm very excited. I love dressing up.
But you have to like create reasons to dress up these days.
Oh, yeah. I've started dressing even nicer at work because I need an excuse to dress nicer.
For sure.
I love dressing nice.
Same. But this is like my normal. Like you told me not to be too fancy and I was like, I don't know. I'm kind of like wear the same thing that I would wear like out and about, also to church, also to work. You know what I mean?
I mean, I love
I'm
it.
just not a t-shirt person.
I
I'm not saying
I understand.
I never wear a t-shirt, but
Yeah, but like,
and like if I'm gonna go to Walmart, I'm not gonna like get all dolled up. It's not that. It's
are you gonna
like,
wear this to Walmart?
I would.
I mean, like, if you're like Saturday morning, you need to run an errand. Are you gonna put that on and go to Walmart, or are you gonna put on something like?
Depends on what I'm doing. I'm very much a planner.
Okay.
Because I'm kind of type A and like my time. I get like really upset about feeling like my time's been wasted. And so,
dude, me too.
Yeah, and so like I plan my days out. And so my thing with dressing up is like I just want to be ready for anything the day could like throw at me. If someone comes to me and they're like, we're going to go to dinner, like I'm already at Walmart and they're like, hey, we're going to go to lunch or dinner and you don't have time to go home and change. I would be pissed if I was in like a ratty outfit.
Yeah.
But if I'm dressed like this, I'm ready to go.
You're ready to do anything.
Yeah. And that has happened before where I like had to like roll to the next thing.
Okay, so on the time thing, do you feel that time... are you so much of a planner? Like I am this person that like
upset.
If I have a plan in place and then something messes it up, I kind of get angry. Not angry, but like annoyed.
I don't think I'm like that.
I get annoyed.
I like to have a loose plan.
Okay.
But my calendar is color coded and it is full.
Same here.
Yeah.
I have like 6 different calendars on my phone.
Like I think a good example is like vacations.
Mm-hmm.
There are people that just like to like go with the flow, sit on the beach all day, do whatever. And there's people that are like, we're going to go do this, and then we're going to go to this museum, and then we're going to go this on this tour. And it's like, both of them are kind of annoying.
Okay.
In different
Where
ways.
are you on that spectrum?
I'm like in the middle, but probably closer to the planning.
Yes, me too.
But I don't like to but I also would like plan free time. You know what I mean?
Okay.
I like free time, but I plan for it. But I don't know how to sit still. Like on the weekends, I'm like never home. I'm always doing stuff. And if I'm at home, I'm like, I get like anxious. I'm like, I have to do something. I get FOMO really bad.
I do too.
Yeah, my mom does too. I bet I get it from her.
I get annoyed when my friends are doing something without me.
Yeah.
Even though they absolutely have every right to like do things by themselves.
I used to get so mad about like friends like doing stuff without me, like we're in the same group. I would get like pissed. And now I'm like, that's like so mature. Like, why did I? Who cares?
I'm like, oh, look, they're having fun. That's cool.
Yeah, like now, I guess it comes with age.
It must be a maturity thing.
Yeah, for sure. Because I feel like a couple years ago I would have gotten like way mad.
Oh, yeah.
Big mad.
For sure. Big
I've
mad.
gotten big mad.
Oh, yeah.
And now I'm like, that's dumb.
Yep. Agreed.
Yeah.
So now we should probably tell people why we're here. Like, how did this begin?
I want to hear your version and then I'll say my version.
Okay. So again, horrible memory. So I'm going to piece this together.
Do you want me to fill in here and
yes,
there?
fill in the gaps that I can't find. So I moved to Georgia. My next door neighbor, I think, is the connecting tissue here. Mm-hmm. I went to a couple hangouts or parties in our neighborhood, and he would always drag me around because I was new and I didn't know anybody, so I'm thankful for that.
Right.
And I believe that's where I met Jody, possibly.
Yeah, wasn't she like friends with the neighbor's sister?
Maybe.
I don't remember what these.
I forget the connective tissue. I know the neighbor's name was Andrew.
I don't remember the girl's name. I don't think I really talked to her.
I never did. Irrelevant, but.
Do you still talk to those neighbors?
No. Oh, okay. I actually was just telling Catherine about them yesterday. I was like, because she was kind of asking like, how did you two? And I was like, well, I had these neighbors, and I showed her them, and they were interesting folks.
Like you don't look like interesting is a good word for them.
Yeah.
Like they were weird.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'll
take your word for it.
I feel like they were snakes.
Oh.
I hope they don't see this, but I went to a couple parties and I met Jody, I think. And then through Jody, I went to Mexican with her, and she was like, I'm bringing my friend Rachel. Mm-hmm. And I think that's how that started. And we went to Mexican.
Pause. I'm going to cough.
Yes, go ahead. Disrespectful.
You can cut this out.
Nah.
No, cut it out. It's embarrassing.
Nah.
I have bronchitis. Well, I had bronchitis. Yeah. So my side, you set that up pretty well. I actually forgot about the neighbor until I really thought about it. Mm-hmm. But I guess that's like, I didn't even know those people. But yeah, she was like, yeah, we're going to go to Mexican with this friend. And that's all I knew. And I was like, okay. And actually, I think we're planning on doing something else that night. And then like, for some reason, like you showed up or like you asked her to hang out and she was like, okay. Cause we were going to like go out.
Really?
Yeah. And then all of a sudden she was like, oh, we're going to dinner. And I'm cool. I'll roll with it.
Yeah.
Like I said, I'm not like going to get upset of plans. I'm like, okay, I'm just happy to be doing something.
Right. Yeah.
So we went to dinner at Mexican and you.
I was there.
Yeah, you were there.
And you were there too.
Yeah. And
I don't remember. I mean, like, I don't know.
And
like,
let me say also, we were like 19.
I know.
Like this was
almost 10 years ago.
10 years ago. Almost.
Which is crazy.
Yeah.
The fact that we're even sitting here right now
I was
is
in hair
wild.
School.
You were in hair school.
Yeah.
I had just moved here. I was like 3 or 4 months in.
And what, you were like 18?
18 or 19.
Yeah.
Wow. Isn't that crazy?
I know, I think we needed to say that because it sounded like it was like a year ago.
No, this was several years ago.
Yeah.
Like, I was much thinner and less anxious about my time. That's the time thing is something that's happened over the past like 3 years. Is like the being so anal about time. Like back then, like I didn't care.
Maybe it's the crippling anxiety of your impending mortality.
That is probably it. I do have crippling anxiety.
Same.
And now a word from our sponsors. What's an anxiety medicine?
Lupron? I don't know.
That.
Is that anxiety?
I don't know.
Like
I don't know what I take for anxiety. Isn't that bad?
I've taken Adderall for my ADHD, but I don't currently take it.
I take something and I have no idea what it's called. And somebody the other day was like, "What do you take for it?" And I was like, "I don't know." And they're like, "Shouldn't you know?" And I was like, "I don't know."
This is like such a tangent, like a side note, because we need to get back on the other story.
Tangents are the best.
No, but like it's crazy that you take like diet meth for like your like
like ADHD,
almost
ADD,
autism.
Yeah.
And I'm not being like flippant.
No,
like
I don't think so.
Like it's crazy that you take a stimulant as someone that is ADHD is like a stimulated individual. When you take a stimulant as like an ice pack for your brain.
Yeah.
But if you don't need it, it makes you high.
Yeah.
And I need it.
Yeah.
You know.
So it doesn't make me high.
It doesn't make me high.
Correct.
It just makes me very productive and focused.
Anyway,
we'll get back on track now.
I think all of us have a little bit of autism in us.
I mean, it's a spectrum.
Yeah. I think all of it, like I have over the past few years, like started to develop things where like somebody will be with me and they're like, "Oh, that's autistic." And they're not even trying to be funny. They're just like saying like, "Oh, that's like a quality or a symptom or something." And I'm like, "Okay, I guess I'm autistic with like loud noises."
Mine feels like if I don't really, really try to listen to exactly what you're saying, then I will not be here. Mm-hmm. I'm like, I have to really try to focus on people's conversation.
Really?
Yes.
So you're struggling right now?
Struggling.
Really?
Always. Yeah. But that's like that's how I am.
That's like your norm.
When that's your normal, you don't like think anything of it until someone's like, and I realize like, I have like an eye contact issue and I never thought anyone noticed. And then one of my best friends was like, "Why do you do that?" And I was like, "Do what?" And she's like, "Whenever you're talking to me, you're just like looking all around the room." And I was like, "I'm thinking." And then I was like insecure about it. And so now when I look people in the eye, this is what my brain's doing. Look them in the eye. Look them in the eye. Look them in the eye.
It's like a voice talking to you in the back of your head.
Be normal. Blink. Look them in the eye. And then the entire time in my head, I'm thinking, look them in the eye. I'm not listening to what you said.
Yeah.
I didn't hear it.
Because you're trying so hard to focus on looking at me in the eyes.
And not be rude.
I love eye contact.
I try really hard. But it's when I'm thinking, I want to go like this.
Yeah.
But that's ADHD.
People do hate. Okay, so this is how I feel. I can't sit when I'm at a restaurant on the side where it makes me face the rest of the restaurant.
You got to sit facing the door.
I like to do that, but I can't because if I'm one-on-one with someone,
you'll just watch the door.
I'm just watching everything that's happening. And they're like, "Are you listening to me?" I'm like, "Yes, I'm just observant." Maybe.
Like you're afraid something bad's going to happen?
I don't know, because I'm not really a guy that's kind of afraid of things. Right. I know there's a lot of like crazy things that happen in the world, but I'm not. I don't ever leave and go to a movie theater and think like this could get shot up or something like that.
I do.
Like I probably should think that way.
Yeah, because I heard this story about people on the highway in Atlanta that were like shooting people. Like they would drive past them and just like shoot into their car. And now I have like anxiety that someone's going to just shoot me while I'm driving.
Yikes.
Yeah, I know. Isn't that crazy?
I don't know if that's going to happen in Ackworth,
and
but
I drive a Beetle, so I feel like I have like a big target on my car.
I don't think. I feel like the exact opposite. I feel like people will drive by you and they're like, she's harmless.
I've never gotten out of a ticket though.
You had never have gotten out of one?
No, in my Beetle. And I'm like, yes, sir, no, sir. I don't even cry. I don't even do that. I've never gotten out of a ticket.
Have you thought about going to extreme lengths to get out of a ticket?
No, I accept my fate.
Yeah. I tried to get out of a ticket once and I was like, sir.
I'm not a butt kisser. I can't bring myself to be one.
Really?
No.
Oh, I could kiss ass so hard.
I can't. I have too much pride.
Really?
Yeah, I can't do it. I know I probably look like one, but I'm not.
Oh, I could kiss total ass.
I can't.
I do it at work all the time.
No,
I kiss
I'm
ass.
Nice. And I like doing things for people. Like my love language is all of them. And so like I love to like make food for people, be nice to people, like buy people things, like give people compliments, like do nice things. I love to do that. It makes me genuinely happy. And so I think people think I'm a butt kisser, but I'm not doing it. So I just like to. I genuinely like to. And I feel like that's the difference. Butt kissers are like doing it for like a means to an end. I just like to.
True.
The means to an end for me is like my own pleasure of just like knowing that they are happy.
True. But anyway, how we met.
Anyways.
So we went to Mexican. And then everything from there I do not remember.
I remember. Do you want me to be honest?
Maybe. How honest?
I mean, I remember you playing footsie with me under the table.
Oh, maybe I did do that.
And I
did. I remember.
Yeah, it gets worse. So
it gets worse?
Yeah.
That I did?
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
I mean, I don't remember a whole lot, but like here, I was at the point, like I didn't have a lot of confidence. So like when you were doing that, in my head, I was literally like, oh, is he trying to get Jody's foot? Like, you're not trying to get my foot, because I just don't think of myself in that way. Like, I just am like, oh, he wouldn't like me. Why would he like, I didn't think of it that way at all. Yeah. We had dinner, and then we were leaving, and you like walked us out to the car, and I drove. It was in my Beetle, same car, all these years later. And you like had my hand on the hood of the car, and you put your hand on top of my hand. And I like to make people uncomfortable, like for fun, like not like a mean way, not like a bullying way, but just like a little, I'm just like, think it's kind of funny to be like mess with people like that.
So what'd you do?
Cheeky. I went, are you trying to hold my hand? Like really like shitty. And you like pull your hand off, but I was being like sarcastic.
Oh no, I had no idea.
Yeah.
Oh no.
Yeah. And you got like all embarrassed, and then I felt bad. Cause I was totally just like, I don't know. Just
messing
trying
with
to be
me?
like a brat. Yeah.
Oh God.
But I
probably was trying to hold your hand, if I'm being honest.
I think you were, because later on you told me that you totally were.
Yeah. Shout out to 19-year-old me.
Well, then like a couple weeks later, the party, we went to a party at, like, it was in your neighborhood.
Mm-hmm. Oh, I remember. It was like an outdoor party. They had they had like a setup in the back. They had beer pong, I'm pretty sure. Yes.
And this might have been a little bit later.
Later as in like
a year or something?
Oh, maybe.
Was it right after? I think it was a little bit.
It might have been a little bit
time. Feeling like it was a couple months later.
Okay.
And I think I had your number.
Okay.
I think you gave me your number.
Maybe.
We just like texted here and there.
Yeah.
Again, like still went right over my head. I did not even think you like liked me or anything.
Oh,
like
okay.
That. Straight up.
I can't believe I did the hand on the hood thing. That is horrible.
It's actually not that embarrassing, I don't think. I feel like me making you feel bad about it is like meaner than like, or like more embarrassing than like the fact that you did.
Anyway, the party.
Yeah. So, are we saying names?
We can.
We already did.
What are the odds they see it?
Well, I was at Jody. Jody was like living in like a little apartment or something. And I was like, so what's the vibe? Are people like dressing up? Is it like, casual? And she's like, oh yeah, it's casual. I'm gonna wear like a t-shirt. I was like, okay. So I showed up wearing like a tie-dye t-shirt and jeans. And
which is so unlike you now.
So unlike me. Well, it was unlike me then. But she was like, oh, it's like a bonfire, like chill. We're all wearing like t-shirts. Girls do that.
Yes.
They were like, oh, what are you wearing?
Yes.
And we all like try to match the vibe.
Oh, I do that.
Yeah.
Today.
So I was like, okay, cool. And she's like, yeah, Logan's going to be there, blah, blah, blah. And she really wanted to get your attention. Like she made that clear. So we get to the party and everyone's like dressed up nice, including Jody.
What was I wearing? Do you remember?
I don't remember what you were wearing, but I do remember
She's
what the
probably
girl
wearing
you were talking
jeans.
to was wearing for some reason. She had like a little like set on, like jeans and she had like a set, like a matching set. It was
Was
cute.
this a Halloween party? No, it
No,
wasn't.
I don't think so.
We were just in someone's basement, weren't we?
Yeah.
I'm remembering this
And it
now.
wasn't like a rager party. It was just like a chill, like
yeah, it was like a hangout.
like a hangout.
Yeah.
People were playing like you were playing like foosball. I remember you playing foosball, and yeah, and like there was this guy that was like a real jerk, and he was like, "Why are you wearing a tie-dye shirt? Are you a hippie?" And I'm like, also like if I was at a party and I saw someone wearing a tie-dye shirt, I honestly wouldn't think anything of it. So I don't know why he was like picking on my tie-dye shirt.
Right.
But like I just it was totally like that scene in Legally Blonde where like it's a costume party and she shows up dressed like a bunny and they like make fun of her. Like she was full on trying to like make me look like rough.
Damn, because she knew that I at the time was trying to get your attention, but she wanted to get my attention, so she wanted to make you look like an idiot.
Sabotaged me.
She did. Dang, she wanted me.
And I'm just like naive. I was just like, oh, okay. Like, and it hit me like a year later. Like randomly, I was like, that was on purpose. Because I don't do that to people. So like, I don't think other people are going to do stuff like that to me.
Never sabotage someone.
Right.
Like that.
So like, I don't think I'm ever going to get sabotaged because I don't sabotage people. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I get that.
So
anyway, now we're here. 10 years later.
Yeah.
And we just stopped talking. I don't know. I stopped talking to her.
I mean, it happens.
People drift apart.
Yeah.
And then they come back coincidentally. Yeah. Like when I saw the picture that the barbershop posted that said you were going to be starting, I was like, no freaking way. I
think
instantly
what you said was,
recognized
let me get ahead of this.
Yes.
As if it was going to be some like awkward thing.
Maybe it's because I was remembering that I did the hand on the hood and I was like, listen, I know I tried to hold your hand 10 years ago.
I think you thought I was going to be weird about it.
Maybe.
And I'm definitely not.
Good.
I think I'm one of those people that like you can not talk to me for 10 years and like then come back and it's like totally chill.
And now you're sitting on my couch in my home and we're having a podcast right
I know.
now.
Who would have thought?
Not me.
Yeah.
Never would have thought.
Yeah.
If some magical spirit came to us at that party and was just like, 10 years from now,
in the year 2023,
you're going to be recording a podcast interviewing each other.
Yeah. Okay, gave me a little credit there. Like I'm interviewing you.
You can. We'll flip the script. There you go. You wanted to ask me some questions anyway.
Now I'm on the spot.
Yeah, you forgot all of them.
No, I didn't actually. Well, I was going to ask you how you started your podcast and why.
Short answer is I wanted to.
Yeah.
I always thought podcasts were like for old people. Like I always thought like pictured like NPR or something, you know, like something your grandparents or like Rush Limbaugh, like on the radio, like something your grandparents would listen to.
Delicious dish.
Yes, of course. And my friend turned me on to a podcast that he was listening to. He's like, hey, these guys are really funny.
Right.
And I was like, okay, I'll listen to it. And I got hooked.
Everywhere.
Oh, everyone's got one.
Everyone and their dad has a podcast. I thought about it.
You
I don't
should.
know what I would talk about though.
It'd be fun. And I listened to this one for a while and then I was like, these guys get to have fun all the time. And they're paid to do it. That's the goal. This was these guys' job. They owned a media company and all they did was this. And they had different like sports and dating and lifestyle, relationship advice, all these different things. And I was like, I could do that.
Yeah.
So I went to Best Buy, bought a mic, and recorded that day. I had no plan. I just plugged it into my computer and started talking.
Talk about?
I think I talked about movies. I think that weekend I'd seen like some new movie, and I was like, I'm going to talk about this movie. And I did, and I was like, maybe I'll just talk about movies. And then I did that for a long time, solo. Got a couple co-hosts. They left. Got some more co-hosts. They left.
Yeah, I saw that you had like two.
I had two at one point, yeah. And then
one was your solo, and then one was your group.
So then
That's cool.
At one point I started another podcast. I had like 5 at one time, like at the same time. And it was a lot of work, but I loved doing it. Like no regrets at all.
Edit this? Or do you edit this at all? You just like raw?
Not really. Unless one of us says something really horrible, I won't edit it. Or like
if you get a random cut while you're listening, I said something really horrible.
But
I don't know what that would be. But
I don't know what that would
think
be
of
either.
Something.
Yeah, say something horrible. Just drop like the worst word ever.
What's the worst word ever?
I don't know. But I started this interview show and I did that for I did 50 or 60 episodes of that. I just interviewed everybody I could talk to. Anyone who would want to do it.
Yeah.
I could grab some dude off the street and be like, hey, can I interview you?
Yeah.
Basically, I would do that. And it was fun. And then I just stopped doing it because I honestly ran out of interesting people in my life to talk about or talk to. And then I kind of got over, I don't want to say I got over the movie thing, but I talked about it so much that it was becoming like a chore.
Like a work, yeah.
And then I was like, well, I really do like interviewing people.
Yeah.
I really miss that. So I decided to start doing that again. So here we
I
are.
love it. I've always wanted to be on a podcast.
I'm glad I can do that for you.
Well, I've done like voiceover work before, and I think it's so fascinating.
I want to do voiceover work so bad.
It wasn't like professional. I mean, like it was for a friend, like their YouTube channel, and he does stop motion.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, I'd love to do that.
Yeah, I was like the mom.
Oh, that's fun.
Yeah, I'm trying to remember what one of my lines was. Oh, it was like a Christmas one. She's like, "Oh, you got a bike," or something. I don't remember.
Oh man, that's fun.
Yeah, it was fun. It's like my dream job, actually.
Dang, I love that.
Yeah, if I could do anything, it would be like a voice actor.
Really?
Yeah.
You'd be good.
Thank you.
I think you'd be a good actress, period.
Oh, thanks.
Yeah. I mean, you've already got the outfit thing going and you've got the vocal.
I don't know if I can act. I don't know. I've never like tried.
I've tried acting before.
Really?
Not professionally.
Well,
or anything, but just
I did
to
acting
myself.
classes and when I was like elementary school for fun.
Yeah.
But like as an adult, I've never been like how do you practice being an actor?
I don't know.
In the bathroom mirror? Like I've never done that.
Yeah.
Like and scene. Like I've never. But like.
Action.
Action.
It's like the Grinch. Action.
I'm trying to remember a line from the Grinch.
This is something I'm not doing on camera because I know you're going to want me to do it, but I can do a wicked Grinch impression.
Do it.
I can do it so good.
If you do it, I'll do my impression of Butters from South Park.
No, because if I do it, I got to like get into character and it's kind of weird because you know how he's like.
You have to like rev up.
Yeah, I got to.
You can't just do the voice.
I mean, I can just do the voice.
See?
But to do it authentically, I feel like I got to like get down, hunched over.
Yeah.
And the Grinch has dad bod.
He does have
total dad bod, just total beer gut on that guy.
Yeah, he does.
He drinks a lot of beer.
Probably. I feel like the Grinch drinks like grog.
Yeah.
Like he makes it.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
But it's like made out of socks.
I want an origin story for the Grinch, but like not the one that we got. Like I want to know his daily, everyday life.
I feel like there is stuff about him out there. There's like a prequel.
I want to be with him the whole year leading up to Christmas.
Okay. Is he just like mad on like
just every holiday?
Day?
Is he just like, pissed at Thanksgiving
Christmas
too?
Christmas is like 300 days away. Like he's just mad.
He's like, Christmas just happened. That means it's coming again.
Yeah, like that, bro. Like get a new personality.
I love the Grinch.
Yeah, he's cool.
You know what I bought? I'll show you after this. But after this morning, I went to Home Depot and bought that Grinch over there.
I saw him. He's cute.
He dances. You push a little thing on his thing, and he plays the Grinch song on the trumpet.
I love that.
It's the cutest thing ever. I love the Grinch.
I have a
Obsessed.
Grinch. I got a Grinch like Sherpa sweater at
oh hell yeah,
Cracker Barrel. I'm excited about it.
A few years ago, I need to find the picture, but I bought a Grinch onesie and wore it to a Christmas party and had like a zip up hood, and I was just like the Grinch.
You were the Grinch.
I was just the Grinch.
You were dying
just
in there.
in character the whole night.
You were dying in that.
Oh, it was
suit,
so
but
fucking
it was
hot.
Worth it.
Oh god.
I will be uncomfortable for the fit. I will.
Would you?
Yeah. Except for my feet, I cannot have uncomfortable shoes.
No.
That's where I draw the line.
Really?
I will wear a wig that's like ripping my hair out. I'll wear colored contacts that make my eyes hurt, corsets that hurt. But if my feet are hurting, I can't. I'm done.
Really?
I get so tired.
Feet is where you draw the line.
Draw the line at the feet. Yeah, I've worn some crazy stuff
Really?
to conventions, but
I want to see your craziest fit. You'll have to show me later.
oh, I do Gimli from Lord of the Rings.
Really?
Yeah, and I have a fake beard.
Really?
It is extremely uncomfortable.
I want to hear.
I have a fake nose prosthetic.
Wow.
Yeah.
I want to hear Butters or whoever you're going to do.
Hey, fellas.
That's so.
Hey, Eric. I'm gonna get grounded.
That's pretty good.
It was a party trick in like high school.
Oh God, I bet it killed.
It did. Yeah.
Damn.
And I don't remember how I started doing it. I just like.
You just like watch the show and you're like, I can do his voice.
I don't think it started out as Butters. It just started as like a voice I could do. And then people were like, oh, that sounds like Butters. And I like happened to love Butters. Like I never put two and two together, but people like People like it.
People love Butters.
Yeah, Butters
He's
is
the best. The best.
Butters and Randy are the best.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
One more time.
Right.
Butters. One more time.
One more time.
Hey guys. Hey fellas. Hey Eric.
It's pretty good. It's really good. Shoot, man.
It's like all in the...
It is.
It's like right here. Yeah.
Oh, man. I love impressions.
Yeah,
I used to be able to do so many. I used to do Bill Clinton really well.
What would you say?
I'd be like...
Hillary.
I'd be like, Mondays suck, but so does Monica.
It's pretty good.
It's all right.
I knew who it was.
What?
I knew who it was.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Matters,
Thank you. Yeah. I'm trying to think who else I could used to do. I used to do like a really good Patrick Starr, but since my voice has gotten deeper since I've matured, I can't do it as well.
My boyfriend can do a lot of voices.
Really?
Yeah. We like bonded over that because he was like, he would love to do voice acting too.
I would love it. If someone called me and said, you'll be a voice actor, I'll be like,
my God, how do you
thank
even like
God.
start?
I don't know.
And now with AI, they like taking all the jobs.
Yeah.
So it's like, there's like websites you can go on and do like samples, but
Love to.
it's the best job. You show up in your pajamas,
Yes.
you know?
Record a few lines.
It's my dream to see myself as a cartoon.
We should try to be in a movie.
Okay.
I want to make a movie
Okay.
so bad.
Let me know.
Like, I truly
When and
want to make a
where?
real movie. Like,
Okay.
full blown.
Like rent the equipment.
Yeah. Like with either live people or an animated movie. But I don't know anybody who could animate it, but
Yeah, but like I've seen those low budget animated movies. I like really like cringy stuff.
Yeah.
And so me and my boyfriend sometimes will find like really horrible movies on like Amazon that are kids movies and we'll
Really?
watch them. And we like rate them and they're really cringe.
really?
I feel like you need a high budget to make a good animated movie.
You probably do. So we'll do a live action one, but I've thought about writing a script this year.
Do it.
I want to write a children's book and a script this year.
I want to make a kids YouTube channel and be like a character. But I don't want to get canceled because I've said a lot of things on the internet.
Have you?
Yeah.
Like where?
Like on Facebook.
Really?
Years ago. Not
boy.
lately.
Rachel Unhinged.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
Yeah. But I would love to have a kids YouTube channel. I just don't want to get canceled.
maybe you'll have kids.
They
That
make so much money on there.
I know.
But like my house is like all like decorated, all like fairy tale. And so I want it to be like fairy tale themed.
I have to see this house.
Yeah. It's pretty cool. I don't want you to be disappointed now that I've like hyped it up.
If I walk in and there's just like one portrait of a princess, I'm gonna be like,
I've like framed unicorns on my walls.
Really?
I have a portrait someone painted of me.
really?
Like an oil painting. Yeah, this girl like reached out to me, was like, "Can I paint you?" And I was like,
Yeah.
"Bet."
Like Rose
No, it's like surround like Rose from
from the Titanic.
Yeah, people tell me I look like her all the
You
time.
do look like her.
Yeah.
1000%.
I get it like once a week.
Kate Winslet.
Literally, I got it today.
Really?
Today, yes.
Someone was like, "Are you Kate Winslet?"
People say it all the time. I mean, it's not a like,
Never let go, Jack. You get
Yeah.
that a lot?
No, the weirdest one was that when I was in Savannah, and you know, like in Savannah where there's like squares
Mhm.
and there's like homeless people everywhere.
Mhm.
So we're like admiring the square
Yeah.
with my family, and this guy like shouts across the entire square. And I have a bright yellow shirt on. Hey, girl in the yellow shirt, and I was like, please don't, like, you know, when someone
Yeah.
like you're like,
You're like, God, what's about to happen?
yeah, and I didn't know what he was about to say. He's like, is anyone? And this is what he said, not me. This is what he said.
Okay.
Anyone ever told you you look like Kate Winslet, but you're way prettier? And I was like, okay,
So I'm a prettier Kate Winslet. Thanks, bud.
I'll take it. So,
Have a good night.
Yeah, and then my boyfriend,
Sleeping on a bench.
he loves Titanic, which you'd never think because he
Really?
doesn't look like the type. And he goes one day, like, I think we hadn't been dating that long, and he was like, you know, I used to have a huge crush on Kate Winslet when I was a kid, and you look just like her. And I was like, well, I guess you're like living your dream.
Really?
So,
Honestly.
yeah.
Dang. That's my dad's favorite movie is the
I
Titanic.
love Titanic.
I
It's a
can't
little
watch it.
It's a little cheese, but it's good.
It's cheese, but it is good. But the whole, like, I know the whole point of the movie is the ship busting and like destroying, but like watching those people like panic, it brings me so much anxiety. I can't watch it. There's like a scene. I will never forget this scene. This is going to sound so sad too. So I'm just warning you people.
Say it.
There's a scene. It's a very quick shot in the Titanic where like they come across this little girl that's just like crying. She's bawling.
Yeah.
It's like as the panic is happening, people are trying to get on the boats. This little girl's bawling. And as a little kid, when I saw that, I just thought of my little sister in that scenario. I was like, what if she was alone and she couldn't find mom or dad as the boat is sinking? So to this day, when I think of the Titanic,
like empathetic of you though.
I think of that scene.
And it makes you sad.
It makes me sad.
Yeah.
Every single time. And I think about like, where did that girl go from there? I know he picked her up and like ran with her, and I think he brought her to her mom. Right. But like, bro, that nightmare, I hate that.
No, and it's like a real thing that happened.
Yes.
Yeah.
Can you imagine?
April 14th, 1912.
Although, you know what I do find kind of funny about that movie?
What?
When the boat is like tipping up and the dude like falls and hits like the railing.
See, I
find that oddly funny.
I don't, because I imagine myself as that person.
And then you just hear, Dum.
I mean, I guess it'd be like lights out though.
Oh, yeah.
You know?
I mean, unless your leg hit it.
Oh.
Your leg would go.
Would it make that sound?
Yeah, it would be like.
You sound like Donald.
Sound like a duck.
Yeah.
I've been working on my Goofy impression lately.
Do it.
But it's not that great. It's not good.
It's better than most people's.
Mickey. Mickey.
Why does yours sound like Goofy if he was in the deep south? Like Goofy's like redneck
like
cousin.
Southern as hell Goofy.
Yeah.
Like MAGA Goofy.
Yeah.
I'm for Trump.
I feel like we all know a guy that sounds like that.
Oh yeah, for sure. We've all met a old Southern dude that's just like, real. Better get to the store. Like, but anyway.
Yeah. I want to talk about ghosts.
We can talk about ghosts.
Because I heard you talk about it before.
Yes. And you believe in ghosts.
Yeah, I do believe in ghosts.
And I do too.
Do you?
I've had experiences.
I want to hear about your experiences.
Okay. Both of them involve my dad's parents that are both passed away now. Obviously. Because if they weren't passed away and I met their ghosts, that would be weird.
Okay.
And they both happened the weekend that they passed away. Both of my experiences happened.
Okay.
So the first one, my grandmother, when we drove up to my dad's parents' house, which is in the middle of nowhere, Illinois, the house is really small. There was only like 3 bedrooms, and my dad has several siblings. And so what we did was we had all of the grandkids. We all slept at my aunt's house that was just like 20 minutes down the road or something. And we all slept with, or like in blow up mattresses, like in the living room together. Whereas like most of the parents, except for the aunt and uncle that owned that house, they slept there obviously as well because it was their house. But either way, we didn't stay at grandma and grandpa's house, but my parents did. And my parents, we always lived farthest away from home. So my parents were the unfortunate ones that drew the stick to sleep in grandma's room.
Oh, okay.
So my grandparents slept apart. They did for as long as I can remember.
Wow.
She liked it really hot and he liked it really cold, or vice versa or something. So they just slept in separate rooms.
Okay.
And they were like that for as long as I can remember.
Yeah.
So my mom said that in the middle of the night, she got up to go to the bathroom around 3 a.m, which is ghost time for those who don't know.
Hour.
And she went to the bathroom, came back, and my dad always slept on, or still does, sleeps on his side, facing away from the door. So she walks back into the room, and she said she gasped because she saw a figure sitting on the edge of the bed, resting their hand like on my dad's shoulder as he was sleeping. And it was clearly my grandma. And what's funny is like,
kind of sweet though.
Yeah, kind of comforting.
Yeah.
And before she died, me and my mom have always loved like horror movies and ghosts and all that stuff. And we always told my grandparents, when you die, show us that ghosts are real.
Oh,
like
100%.
Show us.
Yeah.
Try your best not to freak me out.
Don't scare me.
But show me that ghosts are real. Mm-hmm. So.
And they were like, okay, yeah.
And she was like, okay, sounds good. So my mom saw that, freaked out, whatever. Which is crazy is the next morning when we got back to grandparents' house for breakfast or whatever, I was like, Mom, did you sleep okay? And she was like, no, I saw something in the middle of the night. And I was like, that's weird. I also saw something in the middle of the night. So rewind laid.
I like the way you're telling this story.
Right?
It's like one perspective and then the other.
And then
so cinematic.
yeah, I'm telling you, I could make a
You should
movie.
write a movie or something.
So that night, I also got up to go to the bathroom around 3:00 in the morning, and I don't know if it's possible for spirits to be in two places at one time. I don't know because I've never talked to one.
Visiting you both.
Maybe. So I go to the bathroom. I am sleeping on a blow up mattress in the middle of the floor. And like when I lay back down, I'm laying down like this on my back. And all of a sudden, like almost as if like a train rushed by, just like woof, like a gust of wind in the middle of the living room. No windows are open, nothing, just wind. And it freaked me the hell out. So I like laid on my side and I'm playing on my phone and I lock my phone and my phone's dark and I see a clear silhouette just like standing over my shoulder.
In your phone?
Like I could see the silhouette in like, I could see my face, like my reflection, and over my shoulder there's like a clear figure just like standing over me.
Oh, wow.
And like, I'm like, and I pause and it's still there. And then I like freaked out. So I like unlocked my phone and then like locked it again and the figure was gone. Mm-hmm. And I was like, okay, got it. Cool.
So you think she like visited your mom first and then like whooshed past you?
Yeah. I don't know. But either way, we were both like, Grandma, she was like, I saw Grandma last night. And I was like, I saw Grandma last night.
You're like, don't take this from me, Mom.
Yeah. I was like, Mom,
no,
don't.
it like validates your story though.
Yeah.
You know?
Right. That's what validated it for me was the fact that she had an experience the same night. So several years later, my grandfather, I don't want to say finally passed away, but he passed away, her husband, and same scenario. We're sleeping except my mom didn't experience this. This was just me. We're sleeping at my grandparents' house, the same aunt's house, same situation, sleeping on a blow-up mattress. And my aunt had this big, tall mirror that's probably about like the size of that door, just like on the wall. Right. Big, tall mirror. And in the corner of the living room, once my grandpa started getting older, he started spending a lot more time at her house, and he would just hang out at her house and she would watch him. Mm-hmm. And he always sat in this chair, like this, kind of like that, kind of like a rocking chair. And I got up to go to the bathroom again. Can you tell that I have to go to the bathroom a lot in the middle of the night?
Oh, same.
So
always.
I'm walking back to the blow up mattress and I'm looking at the mirror and I can see Gramps just chilling in the chair.
Wow.
Not doing anything.
Doing what he loved to do.
Just chilling in the chair.
That's sweet too.
And I was like,
like, what did he look like though?
Like he was.
Just like a guy?
Just a guy. Just like what?
Not transparent or anything? Just like.
No, just, well, I mean, kind of, I don't want to say he was transparent, but he was more just kind of cloudy. Mm-hmm. But I could clearly, like he was wearing his ball cap and he was wearing his blue jeans and a flannel. Yeah, I could see his face. Oh yeah, I could see his face.
Cool.
And I like paused and was just like, this was only a few years ago. I was like, I'm an adult now and I'm seeing this. What's happening? And I forget what happened, or I think somebody woke up and was like, what are you doing? And I looked over to talk to him and I was like, shh. And then I looked back in the mirror and it's gone.
Oh, you saw it in the mirror?
Yeah.
Only in the mirror?
Only in the mirror.
Okay. I thought you saw it in the mirror and then like looked over it.
No, okay. I didn't even try to move my head because I was like, why do my grandparents? Well, I did ask them. I did ask them to show me the ghosts are real.
Yeah.
So those are my stories.
They're people of their word.
Mm-hmm.
Interesting.
So I saw some loved ones.
Yeah.
Crazy. What about you?
Well, I have never seen something like that in my own eyes, but I will say like my entire life I've been able to like, and I'm going to sound like I'm making this up.
Here we go.
I have always been able to like feel energies.
Lorraine Warren over here. You know who that is?
Who?
Lorraine Warren.
Oh yeah, like The Conjuring.
Yeah.
Is that what she does?
Yeah, she's like I don't want to say she's a medium, but she can.
I'm not a medium. I'm more like a small. You know, like, I'm not like. Well, like I say that because like I don't feel like I'm that. Like I'm not like Teresa Caputo.
Right.
But like I do think I have like a little bit of ESP.
Okay.
Just a little bit. You know?
Yeah.
Just a smidgen.
Just a smidgen.
Because I can just tell. And like, I always tell people, they're like, what do you mean? I'm like, you know. You just know. Mm-hmm. And like, I'll walk into a space or an area, or like I'll have like an experience and it's like it just gets downloaded into my consciousness. I'm like, oh, well, this happened, and it's like fact. I just feel it. And I've always been like that, like since I was a kid.
Really?
Yeah, I used to like astral project when I was little. Like I would have like or like not astral project, I would like have like sleep paralysis.
Oh, really?
Actually, I did astral project. No, I've done it twice, but I was little. Like I would have a dream that I was above my body, looking down at my body when I was like 3 or 4, and I couldn't move my body, and I was like stuck.
That's
sleeping.
terrifying.
Yeah, and then another time I had a fever, and it could have also just been the fact that I had a fever, and I was like out of my head with a fever, and my mom says and I remember this saying, I want my mom, I want to go home. I want my mom, I want to go home. And she was holding me, and my dad and my sister like looking over, and I was like out of my head. It's like this fever was making me crazy. And a couple of years went by, and I was like, Mom, do you remember that? And she's like, oh yeah, that was terrifying. Like you had a really bad fever. And I think again, I was like 3 or 4. Wow. And then I realized my memory of that scenario was not from the perspective of like looking up at my mom. It was from the perspective looking down from the ceiling. And I like was out of my body when that happened. So I don't know. But then I've had other experiences too, where like I live by like Pickett's Mill battlefield. Yeah. And I've driven past that, and like I would avoid that road. It's a beautiful road. Yeah. But I would avoid it because it made me feel really uncomfortable. And I never like voiced it. I just like said it one day in the car with my sister after years, and I was like, oh, I hate this road. It like makes me uncomfortable. She goes, this is the battlefield. And I was like, oh. So like
that explains it.
I didn't even know.
Yeah.
I just like knew I felt weird.
Yeah.
And then the other day we were at a estate sale, and I like that's a hobby of mine, going to estate sales.
Really?
Because I also just like, I'm nosy and I like to look in people's houses, but I love antiquing.
Yeah.
So like me and my boyfriend walking on this estate sale, and we have this like unwritten rule where like we just kind of split off. Yeah. Because he likes to see different things than I do. I'm looking for like art and mirrors and clothes. He's looking for like electronics.
Yeah,
and, like,
sure.
You know, tools.
Yeah.
Like, so we always split off, and he came out of the back of this house, and he goes, there's nothing back there. And I'm like thinking in my head, I'm like, I'm gonna look for myself, because we don't look for the same stuff. So I walk back into this back bedroom. This was literally last weekend, and it's like, you know, when you go to the doctor and you're getting an x-ray, or you go to the dentist and they put that lead thing on you to get an x-ray. Yeah. I walk in the threshold of this back bedroom, and I feel like I have been covered in lead. Like I'm now underwater. Like it is heavy. My chest hurt. Yeah. And I was like, I literally went like, whoo, like that, like, and I knew, like, I got downloaded all the information, and it was an older woman, and I got the feeling that she had been kind of stuck back there, like maybe a health reason, and she had become like kind of immobile, and I was like, oh my gosh, and it made me so sad. Like I started feeling maybe the way she felt before she passed away, because you know, estate sales are like getting rid of someone's stuff. And I'm walking around, and I'm back there by myself. There's people in the house, like in the estate sale. And I literally said, like, you need to go. You're stuck. You need to go.
Like to the lady?
Yes, out loud. I said to the lady, you need to go. You're stuck here and you need to leave. Like, it's okay. And then this other lady came in, and she was like, you see all the rat shit on the floor in here? Kind of like broke me out of my, and God. I didn't even notice that there was rat poop all over the floor.
Rat poop?
Yeah. In this house. I didn't buy anything. But I wouldn't, like, it was old lady clothes, which is my weakness. They have like really good knits and like sweaters. So, but I didn't buy anything because I got the vibe where I was like, I don't know if I want anything with this like energy on it. Yeah. Also, there's rat poop in here, but like the rat poop was honestly like not even like the top of my list of why I didn't want any of this stuff. Yeah. It was like the vibes. Yikes. But yeah, I kind of knew like what she had been through in her life. It was kind of sad. But that's not the end of my, if I've been talking too much, let me know.
No,
that's not the end of this. That's not the end of my experiences. Keep going. So I've had several dreams from the other side. Yeah. So when I say like my experiences, like you saw somebody, mine are like different. They're like, so my aunt Susan, she died in a motorcycle wreck several years ago, and my uncle was driving. And yes, they were like up in the mountains.
Did he survive?
Yes, oh, but he like survivor's guilt. It was really bad. So he didn't do anything wrong. They were up in the mountains, and they're both at the time, I think in their 50s, late 50s maybe. And somebody had wrecked, and they came around the curve and hit like a bumper or something, and they both went flying off the bike. and he shattered like everything on one side of his body, like arm, ribs, clavicle. Like she died on impact. She was like really tiny. She was like 4'11".
Oh man.
And so she hit her head, died on impact. It was so sad, like out of nowhere. And she was always like super sweet, little like tiny woman. And she was my aunt by marriage, but she was always the one like wanting us to get together, like planning Thanksgivings and hey, let's have this party. And like, so, which was really cool, you know, cause she wasn't like our blood relation, but she was honestly like my favorite aunt, you know, on that side. And so, I don't remember how long afterward, but my uncle was like really tore up about it, obviously. Yeah. And, we were all kind of like worried about him. And then, I don't remember how long afterward, but I had this dream that I was at this party and it was all my family. And we were out on this, like on the back deck of like my parents' house or some deck. I don't, it doesn't matter. And we were all together, just like having a cookout. And it was like this pan over everyone, just like having a good time.
Cinematic.
Yeah, cinematic. And so then like all this, you know how dreams, like you just like all of a sudden you're somewhere else.
Yeah.
All of a sudden I'm in this like, this area that's like white and it's all fuzzy. And there's this big staircase. And my aunt is standing at the bottom of the staircase, and she has this beautiful, like, floor-length, one-shouldered gown on. It was bright red. She looked really good in it. She had this, like, olive-toned skin, black hair. And she's standing at the bottom of the staircase, and I get closer to her, and she's just, like, beaming, like, smiling. And I get close to her, and we're, like, almost touching faces. We're so close. And she takes her hands, and she puts them on either side of my cheeks. And just like holds it like this. I just hold the mic. She puts her hands like this and just like smiles at me, and she doesn't ever say a word. And then all of a sudden, she just like walks up the staircase and goes away. And I took that. I like again got downloaded the message almost instantly. I woke up and was like, that was me, her telling me that we need to get together more, the cookout, and that she's okay, she's happy, and she's moved on. And I never told my uncle because I just felt weird about it. He was really like depressed, and maybe I should have. It's kind of awkward to bring something like that up to somebody that just lost their wife.
Yeah.
Like, and he got remarried, and like, I don't know. I've never told him.
Really?
And I felt weird about it. And there's just, we're not like super close. So I kind of was like, how do I be like, hey, can I talk to you for a minute? Like,
hey, I had a vision.
But like, I've never told him. Yeah, and then I had another dream that my family dog came to me and was like talking, but his mouth wasn't moving, and he was like, you have so many people watching over you, and like all these people like love you, everyone that's passed on like watches over you. And my grandpa, that my dad's dad, he died when I was a baby, and he never held me because he had like shaky hands and he was afraid that he would drop me. And so I've always felt him. Like I've never really met him, you know, but I've always felt him. And my dog in the dream was like, yeah, he's watching over you like the most. And it makes so much, it like validated me, because I was like, I have felt him my whole life and I never even really knew him. And then the third one happened like not that long ago, like maybe a year ago. My uncle died of cancer like 2 years ago. And I had a dream. We had just gotten back from his funeral, and I had a dream that we were in the funeral home. And he was sitting in a chair, and behind him was this man, and the man kept changing from like old to young. And when he was old, he had like white hair and glasses and a beard. And then when he was young, he had red hair, and it was like cut into like a flat top, like a military, like old school military flat top. And I knew it was the same guy for some reason, but he kept changing. Every time I looked at him, he was like morphing from like old to young, like red hair, white hair, you know, over and over again. My uncle's sitting in the chair, and I was like kneeling in front of my uncle. He's sitting, and he was looking down at me, and he was like, I just want you to know that I was at my funeral, and I'm okay now, and Jesus calls me brother. He said that to me, I know. And that I'm okay. And so I wake up from the dream, and I text my aunt, and I had this thought in my head. It was 5 a.m. I was on vacation. It was 5 a.m, and I thought, oh, I don't want to text my aunt because she's probably sleeping. And a voice in my head told me, text her. And I was like, okay. I just complied with said voice. And I text my aunt. She immediately texted me back. Like, she was already awake. And she's like a late sleeper. Like, she'll sleep till like noon. And so she goes, oh my gosh. She goes, I got visited by him last night too. And she had an experience.
Wow.
And I said, who's the man who's changing from old to young? Like and I said, he's red haired, military flat top. And then when he was older, he had white hair with glasses and a beard. She goes, that's his dad. I've never seen a photo of his dad. He was my uncle by marriage. So like, I didn't know his family really.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I just think it's cool. Like that these people somehow know that I could maybe get a message out or like want to tell me that they're okay.
It's true.
And I guess I'm just like a vessel for like information. I would love for it to happen more often.
That's really crazy.
Yeah.
Damn.
So I don't know if like it's me. I have some type of quality that like
maybe
it passes through me, or I don't know. Maybe they just like, I don't know. I don't know why, but it's happened a few times. So.
Weird.
But I will say, like,
Ghosts.
when people tell me their experiences, I always believe them. Like, I hate when people are like doubters and just like, even with like aliens and stuff. Like, I'm like, hey, I wasn't there. I didn't see Bigfoot. Maybe you did. Who am I to say you didn't?
I have a friend that's an absolute like non-believer in aliens.
I think that's a little small-minded.
I agree.
Because like we have an ever-expanding universe. You know, who's to say there's?
I'd be
not?
very bummed out if I found out there was no other life out there. I'd be like,
Right.
really? That's it? This is it?
Yeah. Well, I don't know. Like, I feel like we have this, there's no coincidence that we have this like giant, like beautiful world that like just happens to have the perfect atmosphere for us to breathe, water for us to drink, like animals for us to eat. Like, and that's the only one in the entire universe.
Right.
I don't know. It just seems a little small minded to me to like assume that it couldn't happen again somewhere else.
Right.
And I don't think like, I mean, I'm a Christian and like people are always like, I've had literally people get like arguments with me like, how can you believe in God and think that? And I'm like, aren't you putting limitations on our God a little bit? Like, I feel like he could totally create like other worlds.
Yeah.
You know?
Who's to say he stopped at one?
And what is my image? What does that even mean?
Mm-hmm.
It could mean anything.
True.
I don't put limitations on things. So that's
True.
just what I think.
Yeah, I think aliens are out there.
Yeah.
I mean, do you think all the stuff like, I mean, the past couple years, like it's weird. It's weird to me that 10 years ago, like talking about aliens was like this like thing that we all did for fun. And now today, good gracious.
Oh yeah, I didn't even mention all the people that are like very reputable sources that are like, yeah, I saw that.
Yeah, and the fact
Or,
that
like-
like the U.S. government's just like
Navy
aliens
pilots
exist.
that are
Yeah.
just like, yeah, there was a giant Tic Tac floating over the ocean, and it's like, I mean, I'm not gonna not believe those people.
Right. Like, why would the government all of a sudden just come out and start lying to us about aliens?
Right.
Well, what do they have to gain from that?
Well, I think that they thought that everyone was gonna freak out, and then they just slowly release information. Everyone's just like, cool, can we get like affordable groceries now?
Facts.
Yeah, like maybe
Honestly.
someone will beam me up to a planet that doesn't have inflation.
You know, honestly, what's funny about that is I feel like a lot of people out there, the conspiracy theorists out there,
Right. I find them a little annoying too, to be honest.
they are
I'm like in the middle, you know?
right. Like I'm open to hear your theory,
Right.
but I don't want to get into like the nitty gritties of it.
Yeah,
like it's cool to think that like oh, maybe the government released all that alien stuff because something else was happening and they're just trying to cover it up with alien
Right.
news. And it's like, I could see that being a thing.
Yeah. I just choose to like use my energy to not be mad about stuff like that.
Yeah.
I had a friend the other day because she's like really into like conspiracies and like, she's like, Rachel, like you're always like mad at the government. Like, why aren't you like more into conspiracies and stuff? And I was like, honestly, it's just like brain power for me that I don't really want to use in that direction.
It's also a thing that's like, okay, so let's just say that all the conspiracies are true. Let's say, this is going to sound horrible, but like, let's just say things like 9/11, it was not fake, but
Right.
set up.
Curated.
Yeah, right. Sandy Hook. That's another one that people say
Right.
was curated and it not fake because
like the moon
real people
landing.
died. The moon landing. I have a cousin that straight up believes the moon landing's fake.
I kind of do think it's fake now, too.
I've started to
I've
convince
started to go
myself
that way.
that because like in all of the videos, first of all, how can we not get another?
They lost all the technology to do it.
How can we
How'd
not
they
get
lose
back
it?
to the moon, but yet
Yeah.
we have clear video of someone walking on the moon?
Right.
How is that possible?
I can't ever tell if they're like, we can't do it or we just don't want to spend the money on it.
Right. But either way, like listen, Elon Musk has put a car in outer space, but we can't get back to the moon.
Isn't China like selling land on the moon?
I don't know how
like, who owns it?
Like, I don't know if anyone owns it.
Yeah, like how can you just like lay claim to How can you just like lay claim to the moon? But then like my aunt, the one that her husband died, I had the dream. She legitimately thinks that ancient aliens is like actual history. So like those people are kind of annoying too. Because she told me one time that the moon is made out of metal and there are people living in the core.
I've heard that too.
Yeah. She also thinks there's a giant wind turbine in Alaska that controls all the weather on the planet.
Wouldn't we have seen that by now?
That's what I'm saying. Where's this wind turbine?
I've heard that people that, again, like just like the United States government, or first of all, why would it be the United States government controlling all these things?
Well, I think it'd be one of what they would do it for would be like, oh, let's all invest in like water and plywood and like these things that people are going to need in a disaster and then create a disaster. It's like insider trading for natural disasters.
That's true.
Yeah. I think
that's deep.
I know, right?
I like that kind of.
Yeah. Ooh,
how can I get in on that?
That could be our movie.
It could be.
Yeah.
Pencil that down.
Because I'll totally forget.
Oh yeah, I will
that's
too.
What she thinks people that believe in every conspiracy under the sun are also kind of annoying. But it's also like, I'm open to it. Let me hear your points and I'll make counterpoints. That's kind of what I'm thinking.
Right. Like you see like how what's your thoughts on like Area 51?
I mean, I've listened to a lot of Joe Rogan where the guy was like, yeah, like I was in a spaceship and then they tried to ruin my life to get me to not talk about it.
Yeah.
And I believe him.
But like at that same time, like if they really didn't want him talking about it, wouldn't they have just killed him?
Yeah, I mean, I guess they could have.
Have you seen like what Dan Aykroyd is up to nowadays? You know who that is?
He's a skis ball, though.
He is kind of crazy, but he was on Joe Rogan a few years ago, and they talked. He's all about aliens. He's a huge alien guy. He's
I've heard he's like such a jerk in real life.
Oh, I've heard that too. I heard he's an absolute asshat, which sucks because like Ghostbusters, and he's awesome. But
I know, but like, yeah. You can enjoy Ghostbusters and also be like, Dan Aykroyd's a douche.
Yeah, I feel like that's a lot of celebrities though.
Yeah.
Like, oh, they're a douche.
Yeah.
You know what's funny? Hating celebrities. Every time I see, and this might suck, but unless you agree with me, then it won't suck. Every time I see Oprah anywhere, I'm like,
yeah,
I just like don't like her.
Yeah.
But I feel like at a time,
she comes across very out of touch.
Yeah, like everybody, of course, is talking about, or they were at least a few weeks ago, that video that Oprah and The Rock put out, the Maui Relief Fund or whatever. But like, there's all those conspiracies about how, why did Oprah have firefighters on her property the night before the fire started? Like,
right. Did you see the one where like they had a laser and it like destroyed everything that wasn't blue?
Yes.
And so there's like a blue umbrella and like a blue car that are like still there.
Yeah. Like from space,
Do you believe
everybody
it?
who's rich and powerful in Hawaii has a blue roof, and anything that wasn't blue got destroyed.
Right.
And it's like, how deep are we going to get into this?
Yeah.
But it's interesting to ask the questions.
I mean,
I'm not a conspiracy theorist. I just say there's a lot of coincidences out there.
And it makes me mad. Maybe the fact that I don't research them is because I'm never going to know the actual answer, and it's just going to dig at me forever, and I'm going to be mad. And I'm going to die before I know.
It's almost like ready? Hold on, people. Let me talk for a second. It's like the OJ thing. If he didn't do it.
Oh, he did it.
If he didn't.
Allegedly.
If he didn't do it, doesn't it suck that the only person that knows is him? And he's going to go to the grave with it.
Yeah, I mean, like without a shadow of a doubt, no one can prove it but OJ.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because everyone that was there is dead except for OJ. That's like crazy to me. A
lot of stuff makes me mad because I'll never know.
Nah. I mean, it'd be great if wouldn't it be great if you, this is morbid, if you died and then you got to heaven or hell or wherever you're going and you almost get like a Spotify Wrapped for like your life.
Yeah.
They're like, this is how much money you spent on McDonald's.
Oh my God.
This is how many hours you spent watching TV. This is how many text messages you sent. This is who really killed Nicole Brown and what's his name?
Yeah.
Ron. Oh God, I forget his name.
I don't remember. Not good.
Either. Nicole,
good, though. Ron
Nicole Simpson and Ron something. I don't know. But either way, these things that nobody knows the answer to except for the people that don't try to put your foot up here. We've already been there with footsie.
Oh, don't put your hand over there.
Sorry. Yeah. No
I
one
would
knows
love
who
to
killed
know.
them except
Or
for
maybe
OJ.
you get there and they tell you.
Yeah.
you know?
What if everyone was just like, all right, you ready for the good stuff?
Yeah.
And it's like, here's who actually did this. Yes, the government was actually controlling the weather.
Right.
And you're almost like you get to heaven and all your buddies are in there and you're just like, yo, I never knew that. Like, I told
like
you.
I want to know like that first night as being president. They're like, all right,
Yeah.
here's the lowdown.
Here's the deal.
This is real.
We're all aliens.
Yeah, like we're actually lizards.
Yeah.
Like I want to know. Like I made a Facebook status a couple years ago. I was like, okay, like can we stop arguing about politics? Like, does Trump know about the aliens? That's what I want to know.
Dude, I love. I got
the book. Remember the Book of Secrets? National Treasure Book of Secrets.
Oh yeah.
Is there a Book of Secrets?
There definitely is. There's a video of I think it was Jimmy Kimmel interviewing Barack Obama, and he said, if I got to be president, the first thing I would do is go to the room that tells me if aliens are real or not. And there's this guy on YouTube that like
Obama
dissects.
said that?
No, Jimmy Kimmel said that to Obama, and Obama just like laughs. He's like, oh well, you know. And there's
like a body language expert.
There's like a guy that like zooms in on his face and like analyzes his facial features and says
yeah.
like he's lying. I don't know if it's that deep.
Sure.
I mean, there's got to be,
There's
right?
Like, yeah, they declassify stuff like all the time.
Yeah.
I mean, MK Ultra, all that was real.
Yeah. Yeah.
Were they like giving people drugs and seeing if they could like the plot of Stranger Things that is
real.
taken from stuff that actually happened, and it's declassified by the Pentagon. Like, oh yeah, we took a bunch of hippies in the 60s and 70s, gave them a crap ton of drugs,
Yeah.
put them in these like deprivation tanks, and tried to see if we could give them like mind control powers.
Yeah.
My mom said, because my mom was born in the 50s, she's older, and she said in the deep South, like she grew up in Georgia, that they would have these trucks that went through the neighborhoods and sprayed all these pesticides, and all the kids would play in it like it was a fog machine. Oh, God. And now they're saying that like they would like test things out in the South and be like, oh yeah, no one gives a crap about these redneck people. Like we're gonna like put these like I don't know what it even would have been. They've said stuff like that.
Dang.
Yeah. So the government like is not your friend, people.
No. They're not here to help as much as they try to convince
I got
you.
a bumper sticker the other day, and it says my tummy hurts and I'm mad at the government, and it makes me laugh every time I read it.
Yeah.
Because it's accurate.
Yeah, because that's how I feel.
Yeah, it's
I'm just mad at the government at all times.
And my tummy hurts.
Yeah. My tummy often hurts.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
What else? What other questions about aliens or anything else?
I've got some stuff.
Okay.
But I want to make sure we hit all your points before.
Okay. I mean, I have points.
What are your points? What's another point?
Let me think.
I mean, how long are you trying to go?
I don't know. How long do these things usually go?
As long as they go.
What's your longest one?
My longest one was 2.5 hours.
Oh wow, that's a long time.
Yeah.
What are we at, like an hour and a half?
Hour and a half.
We're doing pretty good.
We are doing pretty good. I have to be done by.
It's 4.
It is 4. I have to be done by
By like 4:30 probably.
4:30 max.
Yeah.
Because I have to get ready. Although it doesn't take me long to get ready.
I want to hear how you met your wife.
Okay. We met on a dating app.
I always ask people this question. I think it's like this. So I love like they call it like a meet cute, which I find cringe.
Yes.
But like I love a good like meeting story. Like old people, young people. Like I'm like, how did you meet? I love that.
Okay. I'll give you a story. So we matched on a dating app.
Which dating app?
Hinge.
Okay. That's like a good one, right?
That I have since been banned from. I got banned from Hinge for some reason. Why? I don't know why. You
literally don't
Someone
know.
has to have had to have reported me or something.
For
I don't
what?
know. I have no idea. Maybe they...
Like a bad review.
Maybe like a bad review. Maybe we went out to dinner and maybe we got
rate people.
Maybe we got freaky and they didn't like it, so they left a bad review.
They left like a 1 star. Is that a thing?
I don't know.
It should be.
It should be. It should be like an Uber driver, like rate this dick. So we matched on a dating app and we talked for a little while. And at the time I was traveling a lot for a job that I had at the time. And I had to travel to Salt Lake City, Utah. And I hated that place. Mormon land. I'm just kidding. The Mormons were cool, actually. I had no idea about Mormon culture and they taught me, and I found out you can't do crazy things because you're a Mormon.
And they wear like weird underwear.
I didn't hear that, but
Yeah, they do.
really?
Yeah, that's all I know.
Okay.
Go Google it yourself.
So we matched and I got shipped to this place. And so we were just texting the whole time. I mean, we couldn't meet in person because I was gone for like 2 weeks. It sucked so bad. I hate that period of time in my life.
You were traveling?
Yeah. And I was on a work trip for like 2 weeks. She was back here.
Yeah. Okay.
And we talked on the phone a little bit, but it was hard because the time difference was so substantial. It was like 3 hours difference. And then one night, like I think she just texted me. She was like, hey, I don't really feel anything here. I don't really feel anything here.
I appreciate the bluntness though.
Oh yeah. And she was like, kind of, where do you feel about that? And I was like, well, we haven't really even met because I've been out of town, but if you don't feel anything, I respect that. And she was like, yeah, I'm just kind of not feeling it. So we stopped talking. And maybe 2 or 3 months went by. Mm-hmm. And I was scrolling through my phone. Honestly, I was probably lonely. You know what that really means. And I hit her up and I was just like, hey, long time no talk. How are you doing? And she responded and she was like, I'm good. How are you doing? And I was like, I'm good. I'm down for dinner if you are.
Yeah.
And she was just like, yeah, okay, that's fine. And so we went to Mellow Mushroom on Cedar Crest. That was where our first date was. Our first date was actually next Thursday, 4 years ago. Yeah. So we always go back to that Mellow Mushroom and try to sit in the same booth.
I love that.
Yeah, we try to sit in the same booth every single time.
So how was the date?
It was great.
Was like an instant click or not? Like a slow burn.
It was we got along instantly.
Okay.
I don't know if we were
within the first like 15 minutes.
Yeah.
I'm not saying you have to be like love at first sight, but like you have to in the first 15 minutes if you want to go on a second date, I think.
Right, exactly. There was clear chemistry. And for a while, I won't lie, I was a player. I was seeing multiple people.
I mean, I had that phase too, where I was like dating multiple people.
Yeah,
okay.
and I felt bad though because she was like all in, and like she kept.
Like as long as you're honest, it's okay.
And I wasn't.
Oh, okay.
And I kind of treated her like shit for kind of a period of time.
I mean, if you're both on the same page about like, hey, we're just dating, like I'm seeing other people, but if you're like making it official and then still seeing people, then
that's where we cut it off. Was so.
Because you didn't want to make it. So, I mean, you didn't really do anything wrong if you didn't make it official.
So then we went to, I think it was my sister's like high school graduation party or something. And then that night she dumped me and said like, you know what?
No.
You're great and all, but like, you're not giving me the respect I deserve. So I'm going to leave.
Good for her. I like her already.
Yes. So I was like, okay, that's fine by me. And I was like, you know what? That works for me because I don't want a relationship.
How far in was this?
We were maybe talking for maybe 4 months.
Okay.
So we weren't like dating, but we were seeing each other pretty consistently. And she was like, you know what? I'm done here. You're kind of an asshole. We're done. And I was like, that's okay. I kind of didn't want a relationship to begin with. I just wasn't ready for it. I was kind of a jerk. But I really didn't want a girlfriend. I really didn't because I was loving the single life. I won't lie. I was doing it. So, so she left my apartment and then I woke up in the middle of the night and this is going to sound dramatic. I forget if I was or not full blown, but I was crying. I like woke up in the middle of the night and I was like, this isn't right. This is weird.
You woke up crying?
I don't want to say I was bawling or anything, but I woke up like.
You like a single man tear?
Like a single man tear.
Yeah.
And I was like, something's not right here. And so the next morning I called her and I was just like, can we meet? Something's weird. And so we sat on a park bench, I think in Swift Cantrell Park in Kennesaw. And we sat on a bench and just talked it out. And I was just like, I just don't want to be without you.
Yeah. Sometimes it takes like
losing something before you know what you had. And so I was just like, can I actually take you to a nice dinner and like, let's go on a real date and I'll be really nice to you.
Yeah.
She was like, that's fine. Then we got back together a couple weeks later of talking it out and there we go.
So how long did you date before you got engaged?
1.5 years, I think.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
You just knew it?
I just knew.
Yeah.
I knew I wasn't going to do any better. No, I'm just kidding. I knew, I just knew like,
you know.
Yeah, I was just kind of
frustrating when you've never like been in love. Like, what do you I used to literally be like, what are you talking about?
Yeah.
No, what? And they're like, you'll just know.
Yeah. I mean, it wasn't even that feeling either. It was just kind of like my, I just kind of like, I was like, yeah, this person like makes me feel good about myself.
Mm-hmm.
I don't feel like I have to put up a wall.
Yeah.
Like I could be myself.
Yeah.
And so I just was just, I don't know. We just kind of worked it out. And I proposed to her on a podcast. I interviewed her just like I'm interviewing you right now. And I proposed to her at the end of
need
it.
to see
I have
this.
video footage of it. I'll show you afterwards.
Okay. Did you have like a little speech or you just said it?
No, I kind of started building hype, like, you know, just like any guy does when he proposes, like, you know, Rachel Laine, blah, blah, blah. You're so much fun. I love being around, you know, I kind of started that and
Spiel.
the spiel, the pre-proposal spiel.
Yeah.
And she just kind of was like, oh, that's so sweet. Thank you so much for saying all that. And I got on, the joke is that I actually got on both knees. So it looked like I was begging, but I did not mean to in the moment. In the moment, I was so nervous.
Out, I'm sure.
Kind of.
Yeah.
And so you could see me getting out of a chair and I get on both knees and I propose that way. And she says yes. And then I said, okay, so let's go celebrate. Your best friend knows that I was doing this, obviously. So let's go meet them for dinner. But can we stop by my parents' house real quick? Because let's go see my parents. We're engaged now. And so we go to my parents' house, and I had secretly organized all of our close family and friends
like
to be
party?
there, like a surprise party.
I love
so
that.
they all knew I was proposing. And so we just had like a little evening of party and fun.
Yeah.
And then the rest is history.
Did you ever think you'd get married?
No.
Like never, ever?
I wanted to, but I just didn't know if I was going to find one person.
Yeah. It's heavy.
It is heavy. And, you know, and we've had this conversation before, so this isn't new for if she hears this, but like, it's very weird that human beings are the only species on the planet that mate with one, that make the conscious decision.
Don't like penguins do that?
I think actually it might be penguins too,
swans
but there's
too.
very few species that decide I want one person forever. And it's kind of, I won't lie, it is hard sometimes to think about the fact, like, sometimes I do wake up and I'm like, I'm going to be doing this for 50 more years, 60 more years. It's weird. But like, I never thought I'd get there. Never thought. I thought I was always just going to be the fun uncle that was always going to make a ton of money and spoil my brother and sister's kids. But now none of those things are happening.
Do y'all want to have kids?
Yeah.
Like soon or like a while from now?
No comment. When it's right.
Yeah.
We want them. All of our friends are pregnant or have already had kids of their
and
own.
It can be like hard when like you like feel pressure to like have kids at the same time.
And what's great is I don't feel any pressure at all. It just kind of seems like the next logical step. Mm-hmm. But however, it is hard because I like being alone. I do value being alone.
I know. I'm the same way.
I love
other people's kids, but I like when they go home to their house.
Yes.
And I like being selfish with my time. And
Yes.
like not having to, oh, well, let's get a sitter. Like when you don't have kids, you can just be like, oh, yeah, we can do that. Like, sure.
I want to be able to do things like
And
this.
it's not like I wouldn't love my child. I just feel like I just really enjoy like doing whatever I want to do right now.
Right. Like if I want to go record a 2-hour podcast with a friend,
sure.
I want to be able to do that. I don't want to have to be like, can I go do this with my, like, I don't want to like, I don't want to go back to where you have to ask your parents for permission to go do something
For
fun.
sure.
And that's what it's like when you have a
Being,
kid.
like, free and clear and like setting something down and it being there when you come back.
Yes.
And, you know, and like not having your house like messy when you didn't mess it up.
Exactly. And I'm a control freak. I hate when things
like
aren't
things
in
a
my
certain
control.
way.
Agreed. So there's a lot of things I have to still grow up about, but I don't think anybody's fully matured ever. I feel like you always are having maturing to do.
Like I think back to being like 18, 19 when we met and I'm like, oh my gosh, I like thought I knew everything. I didn't know anything.
I didn't know shit.
And then now I'm 28 and I'm sure when I'm 38, 48, 58, 68, you know, like I'll be like, oh, I thought I knew something at 58 and now I'm 68. You know what I mean? Like I think you're never, you're
never there.
You're always evolving. And I think that's mature to realize that you don't know anything. Like when the moment you realize your parents are just people and they're trying their best and they're not like these perfect people. Like, it's kind of crazy.
You know how you're really growing up is when you can admit your own faults.
Yeah.
Because when you're younger, like back when we met, like I remember working a job and my boss was always just like, take responsibility. You fucked up and that's okay because you can mess up. We all mess up every day, but take ownership for it. Acknowledge the fact that it's your fault. Stop blaming everybody else for your issues.
Right.
Figure it out yourself. And like now, like whenever I have like coaching conversations with my superiors and stuff, they'll be like, what do you think your strengths and weaknesses are? Like I used to be like, well, I don't really think I have weaknesses, but now I'm like, oh, well, I do this. I don't do this good enough. I don't do that well enough. I'm not as smart in this field. Like, I just feel like growing up is realizing that you're not perfect.
Well, I appreciate like bluntness and like constructive criticism in the right context. You know, like if someone pulls me aside, like hypothetically, it's like, you did this wrong, but like not in a mean way. I think it's the way you say
like,
it.
hey, I want to help you.
I'm like, I
get better.
appreciate that. Honesty is good to me.
I agree. And you know how have a good relationship with friends is if you can pull a friend aside and be like, hey man,
you hurt my feelings.
You're kind of getting to me or you're pissing me off and here's why.
Right.
Like, can we figure something out here?
Yeah.
Rather than having just petty bullshit.
Yeah.
That's part of growing up.
We're good.
But
I'm checking.
No, I got a text.
Oh.
But sounds like Catherine's moving around up there.
I can tell you how I met my boyfriend.
Yes, tell me.
It's interesting, actually.
Yes.
So we got set up.
Really?
Yeah. And I like telling people that because usually it's like, oh, we met online, like yours. Like, I like that mine's a little different.
Yeah.
Although yours was not boring. You said it was boring. And it's not boring.
The dating app part of it is boring. Like, we didn't go and meet at a bar. We didn't do like what your parents did.
Right.
But I feel like that's most couples back then, is they met organically in public.
You had to. If you didn't get out of your house, you just didn't see people.
Yeah, if there was no smartphones or anything, so you had to get off your ass to go find a woman or a man or whatever you wanted.
Right. So yeah, we got set up through a mutual friend that I went to high school with, and he is the cousin of that mutual friend.
Really?
So yeah, so she was the matchmaker, and she I was dating like a few people at the time, but it wasn't like, you know, I wasn't doing anything bad. I just like was dating a few people.
Yeah, you're just seeing people.
But I was frustrated because, like you were saying, like I didn't know, like I kept going on these dates with these guys and I was like, they're nice. Like there's nothing wrong with them. I'm just like not feeling it.
Yeah.
And like on paper, there's nothing wrong with this person. And so I was just frustrated. And then my friend was like, you should meet my cousin. And I was like, okay. Didn't think much of it. We went out to the Battery. Yeah. And I met him and we went to dinner and he got there late and he showed up. It was fine. Like, you know, I like being there early so I can like feel like my little piece of control.
100%.
Like, I'm sitting where I want to sit and like, you know, like, and so he sits down and he like didn't look at me, and I like I'm a body language person. He was like very shy. Yeah. He didn't look at me. He never like introduced himself. He was very like, what? Like, I'm late. Like, and I was just like, this is weird. Like, and me being me, I was like, a few minutes went by and I was like, hi, my name's Rachel. You never said hello to me. So I'm going to, and so I shook his hand like that. And we still like cringe about it because he was like, I don't know, I was just like shy to meet you. And, so like throughout the night we went out to dinner afterward at the Battery. And, I think I ended up talking about like Lord of the Rings and doing my Butters impression, which I don't know. I don't do it all that often. It makes it seem like I do it all the time, but because I did it today and I'm telling the story.
Every once in a while, if I'm having a bad day, I'm going to call you and have you do it.
Okay. That's fine.
Okay.
Or I can like record it and make it your text tone or something.
Oh, that'd be hilarious.
Yeah.
New text.
Yeah. So I did my impression, and he always laughs because like I ordered like bean dip at this restaurant. It was like a tapas restaurant. And I was like, do you want some of my bean dip? And he still was like, do you want some of my bean dip? Like he like makes fun of me. Yeah. So we were going like dancing afterward, and we went to Park Bench, like a piano bar or whatever. And I thought he was like really cute. Like, you know, I thought he was sweet, but I thought he was like really like closed off. Yeah. And I didn't even think didn't think he liked me. I just like never think that. And so we were, it was January, it was freezing. And so we like went in the bar or whatever, and people are dancing, and he ordered a beer and he's like up against the wall, like holding the wall up, you know. Later I found out he doesn't even drink, and he ordered the beer to like not be weird.
Wow.
As a prop.
So he doesn't drink?
No.
Okay.
He just doesn't like alcohol. He just doesn't like, so he ordered the prop beer, right? And I need a little like liquid courage, right?
Sure.
I think I had like one cocktail at dinner, and So I went to the bar, and my friend that set us up, she was there, and her sister was there, and then the friend who set us up, her boyfriend was there too.
Yeah.
And so me and my friend's sister went to the bar, and I bought her a drink, me a drink, and like 2 shots for both of us. So I like had a drink to hold, and then went like good, good, and I was like, I want to dance with this guy, but I want to get like a little courage, right?
Yeah.
So Tyler always says that I came back in like already dance position.
Oh yeah.
Like I came out of nowhere, like Dancing with the Stars, like
Yeah.
and we just all of a sudden were dancing, and so you know we danced or whatever, and maybe kissed a little bit.
Ooh.
And I proceeded to get like very drunk, which I thought the next day like I made a fool of myself.
Yeah.
And we all came, like we drove home. I'm leaving some things out because
Sure.
it's embarrassing.
Sure.
The way I acted. But the ones who know. And so we came back, and we all ended up driving in his truck home to my house. They just like left their cars there because everybody was just like wasted, right?
Sloshed.
Except for him, because he doesn't drink.
Yeah.
Oh, also the beer, the prop beer, I downed it, crushed it.
Damn, that's badass.
I know. I didn't know I was that badass. So we get back to my house. He and my friend, like all of them came in my house and like put me on my bed, took my earrings off, took my shoes off. They left. I woke up the next morning, and you know that TikTok that was like, oh no.
Yeah.
Like I literally was like, oh my God, what did I do? That was so embarrassing. Like the clarity the next day.
Yeah.
I was like, he didn't ask for my number. Like, I'll never hear from him again. Like, so like a couple of days went by, and my friend texted me the next day and was like, so like, are you okay? Like, how are you feeling? I was like, oh, I'm fine. And she's like, well, like, I think he really likes you. And I was like, I made a fool of myself. She's like, you were fine. You were just like having a good time. Like we were all drinking. And so she set up like a game night, like a couple of days later. And I made like some food for the game night at her boyfriend's house. It was raining, and I show up, and they send Tyler out to like help me carry stuff. He grabs the stuff, like doesn't say hey to me, give me a hug, nothing, just like walks ahead of me into the house. And I'm like, man, this guy like hates me. Like, so, and so then I found out later he was just like extremely awkward and like didn't know what to say to me.
Yeah.
So we're at this game night, and I thought to myself, I'm going to do one last move. And if he doesn't take the move, then it's fine. I'll cut my losses.
Yeah.
So we're sitting at this table playing games, and I put my elbow on his knee.
Yeah.
That was my move.
Slick. Riz.
So yeah, the Riz.
The elbow Riz.
And I'm just like, and he seemed to like it. Like he didn't like, he kind of like,
he didn't like shrug you off or anything. Yeah.
So we like played games all night, whatever. And then like, we ended up, just like hanging out all night, and like nothing happened. We just like talked, and like it was so nice. He was like such a gentleman. And then we were going, that friend invited us to like a beach trip, like a couple days later in February.
Fun.
Yeah. And it was like over Valentine's Day.
Ooh.
And
romantic.
I know it ended up being really cool, and it was like a couple's trip, and like we went to like a diner, like a old 50s diner, and like came back from the trip with a man. So
wow.
Yeah.
How about that?
Yeah, it's kind of an interesting story. But he told me that he didn't ask for my number just because he wanted to like he just like, I don't want to be too eager. And I was like, yeah, but you were like giving me like dead body. Like you were not giving me anything. I thought you didn't even like me. So
hilarious. Yeah,
and we went to like a brewery at one point, and we were in the parking lot, and he, I guess, wanted to like diffuse some like the passion, and so he hugged his cousin, and then was like, hugs for everyone, and gave me a hug. And we still laugh about it because I'm like, you said hugs for everyone.
Hugs for everyone.
Yeah, like like because he's like, well, I didn't want to make it seem like, you know, like I liked you too. I'm like, dang, like, but I'm not like that. Like I'm really blunt. Like if I like someone, I'm just like, hey, I like you. Like I'm not gonna like pretend. I'm not gonna play this game.
Yeah.
And he didn't really play a whole lot of games, but it was like a little bit. Like he was trying to like, well, I don't want to seem too eager, but
yeah,
I'm not like that. I just tell people what I'm thinking.
Yeah.
Probably a little too much.
Yeah. That's okay.
Yeah. I'm blunt.
No complaints.
Right. So anyway.
Keep awkwardly looking back. So Rachel, I don't want to say at the end, but towards the end of most of my interviews, I ask every guest the same grouping of questions that I do not prepare them for.
Oh no. Okay.
They're easy. They're
put on the spot.
They're first date questions essentially.
Okay.
But it's just kind of a way to get everybody's answers for the same questions because we talk about so many different things. And it just kind of brings it back to everyone's the same, but we're all different at the same time. So are you ready for these questions? They're very basic questions, but they're very like get to know you questions.
Those are like harder to answer.
They might be.
Okay, I'm scared.
All right. So number 1, what is your all-time favorite movie?
Oh my gosh. I have like at one point I had a list on my phone. I don't know if I could pick one movie. Can I say a couple?
Sure.
E.T.
Good one.
Signs.
Good.
School of Rock.
Great.
Step Brothers.
Fantastic.
And then I love Gone with the Wind, and that's like I do love that movie. Have you ever watched it in its entirety?
Yes.
It's so good.
Yeah, it's very good.
Yeah, like it deserves.
It deserves the praise.
Man, I'm like mad now because I have a list on my phone, or I had one at one point. This is one where I'm gonna be in the car on the way home, and be like, oh,
you can just
should have said that.
It's all right.
Yeah, I might come back.
I'll use AI to edit in your voice.
Okay. Maybe you have enough footage by now.
I'm just kidding. I'm not going to do that.
Yeah. I know there's like more that I love. I love movies, but of course I'm blanking on the spot.
Of course.
Yeah.
All right. I want you to rank these 3 dips.
Dips?
Yeah, like first, second, third, like favorite.
Like food?
Yeah.
Okay.
Queso, guac, and salsa. Rank them.
Ooh.
In order of how much you love them.
Oh, I don't know because I like them for different reasons. Salsa is like the good like staple.
Yeah.
Cheese is like the special occasion.
Yeah.
Maybe guac would be number 1.
Really?
I do like me some guac, and I love cilantro. I know it's controversial.
Really?
Do you like cilantro? I
don't not like it. I don't.
Oh, like love cilantro.
I don't think about it. I don't know. I don't know.
I think about it. I love onions. I don't know. I might put salsa number 1 actually, because my sister makes salsa and it's amazing. She like chars it. I'm gonna put salsa. This is so hard. Why is this so hard? Guac and then cheese.
Okay. Good answer.
Hard. That is so hard.
It is a hard one.
They're all like the best thing ever. And I love cheese.
We probably got queso when we got Mexican years ago.
Oh yeah, we probably did. I mean, I love me some queso,
Throwback.
but like I don't know. I feel like salsa is one of those things. It's like the staple, so you got to put it number 1.
Agreed. All right, here's the next one.
What's yours?
Queso's number 1, salsa and guac last.
Guac last. Okay, interesting.
Yeah, sorry about that.
It's okay. They're all amazing.
You get 3 artists to listen to music-wise for the rest of your life.
Okay.
You get their existing catalog and everything they put out in the future.
Well, all mine are like dead.
What are they?
Well, not all of them. Fleetwood Mac.
Yeah.
Only 3?
Only 3.
Lana Del Rey.
Okay, good answer.
I can't decide between like James Taylor, Bread, or John Denver.
Ooh, all good answers.
John Denver.
Okay, good answer.
Yeah.
What does your ideal... Okay, let's rewind actually. No work. Okay. No plans with the boyfriend.
Okay.
No obligations.
Okay.
What are you doing?
Going to antique stores or estate sales.
Very nice.
Yeah.
Very fun. No stress involved there. Mm-hmm. Spotify or Apple Music?
Spotify.
Okay. I disagree. What does success look like to you?
I guess just like being satisfied with my work and being happy with what I did. I take a lot of pride in my work, and like that's one thing. Like you could like insult me in every way, but like don't tell me I did a bad job at my job because I know I didn't. You know what I mean?
Yeah, for sure.
So I guess being happy with what I did.
Cool. Good.
I'm not like a money driven person.
No.
I'm like a people driven person, and like I want to like please people.
Good.
So I mean, monetary value like kind of means nothing to me as long as I like have enough to be comfortable and happy.
Sure. Makes sense.
Yeah.
What is your coffee order?
Non-dairy and no caffeine.
Okay.
So like decaf, oat milk, and anything else is cool. I don't know.
Cool.
Usually caramel or like mocha.
Okay.
But yeah.
Good answers.
And always ice. I'm not a hot beverage person.
Ice, always.
Yeah, but I don't have like a straight, like one answer. Like iced, non-dairy, decaf, something.
Valid.
Yeah.
What's your biggest fear?
Oh my gosh. I don't
Could be both physical or metaphorical.
I don't know. I don't want to age. Like I'm cool with dying, but I don't want to age just because I want to be able to do stuff.
Yeah.
You know?
It's always sucky seeing like an old guy that can't like step up a curb.
Yeah. And I feel like society is like really horrible to old people.
Yeah.
And I don't want to be treated like that.
Yeah, that's fair.
Especially as a woman, it like hits you harder.
Mm-hmm. Fair. Next question we answered already, but do you believe in aliens or ghosts?
No. Yes.
Yeah. Oh, this is fun.
And cryptids. I love cryptids too.
Curious about your answer to this one.
Okay.
Do you, when you get home from work, do you change out of your work clothes immediately or do you leave them on?
Immediately.
Yeah.
Pajamas.
Yep. Agreed.
Yeah. Long pants, t-shirt, all the way.
Cool.
Yeah.
That's the only time we'll catch you in a t-shirt is
and when it's
when it's time for bed.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool.
And if I'm home all day, like I'm wearing that.
Yeah. Nice.
Yeah.
And lastly, what's next for you? Going into 2024, what's on your mind?
I don't know. I feel like my life's just getting started. I just had a birthday. I had an amazing birthday party with
Happy
like my
birthday.
thank you, with all my girlfriends, and I just was like so happy. Like I get like imposter syndrome really bad where I'm like, why do all these people like me? I'm like not even that cool. And I'm like, I have all these friends that are like nice and fun and like why do I deserve that? So like I don't know. I feel like something happened?
No.
Okay. It beeped.
It did beep.
Yeah. I feel like, I don't know, like when you're a kid, you think that like in your 20s, you're going to like know it, like you're like in a fully fledged. I remember watching Friends as a kid and being like, whoa, they're so grown up.
Are they in their 20s in Friends?
Yeah.
That's so crazy
I
because
know.
they seem like they're in their 40s.
I know. And now I'm like approaching 30 and I'm like, I'm just,
older than them?
no, but like I feel like I'm just doing stuff. Like 30 is the new like 25.
It has to be.
Yeah. And I feel like 40 is the new 30. I do think that
That's
people
fair.
look better, they live longer, like they're dressed better. You know what I mean? It's just like we're like getting younger.
I do.
So I guess I don't know. I'd like to be married and like have kids. I want to like
2024
in 2024. Oh, just 2024.
Well, not necessarily, but
I don't know. I don't have a lot of short-term plans. Mine are more like I would love to like own more property and like
sure.
Like have a big garden. That's like a dream of mine. It's like the little, I don't know. I don't have like a grandiose plan. I like more like quaint little things. Success isn't always like a big grand thing, you know?
Sure.
I'm still mad about the movies thing. I'm still stuck on them.
You named some good ones. E.T., Signs. Those are great. School of Rock. That's a fantastic movie.
I love that movie.
I watched it just like 2 weeks ago.
I love Spielberg movies.
Yes.
I'm trying to think.
Jurassic Park is easily my favorite
I didn't
movie
even
ever.
name Lord of the Rings. I'm a huge Lord of the Rings fan. And if you ask me which one is my favorite, I will argue that they are all one movie.
That's true.
So,
they are.
But if
what
I
about
had
The
to
Hobbit?
pick Return of the King.
Do you like The Hobbit?
I have opinions about The Hobbit. It should have only been 2 movies. He used way too much CGI.
Agreed.
Yeah.
Agreed.
Kind of like when you make something into 3 movies that should have been 2 or maybe 1, like they add a bunch of like filler.
Yep.
But the studio wanted
Twilight.
3. The studio wanted 3 to mirror the original trilogy. So, yeah.
I get it.
Yeah. But I do love movies. I like classic movies. I like fantasy movies. I like Indiana Jones. That's a good one too.
Yes.
Yeah.
Very good.
I know that's my sister's favorite.
Cool.
So I'll probably be thinking of movies all the way home that I'm
Yes,
mad.
you will.
That I'm mad I didn't mention.
Yep. You sure will be.
So,
Rachel, thank you. So fun.
yeah, I had a good time.
Did you?
I did.
I'm glad to hear it.
Yeah.
I really am. I hope you enjoyed it.
Thank you. I did.
Now we'll go another 10 years before we see each other next.
I know. We'll check in
I'll check in on you
20,
when
30,
you're about to turn 40.
okay. And when I look
Whoa.
30,
Yeah, exactly.
40 is the new 30, people.
That's true. Guys, if you enjoyed my conversation with Rachel, tune in for the next one. We're going to have another.
I won't be here.
No, she won't. If you want her back, let me know. We'll have her back.
I don't know what else I would talk about.
I don't know. We covered a lot of bases.
I could be your co-host in the next one.
Okay.
And I could grill someone else.
Okay. Fine by me.
I'm inviting myself.
That's okay. So guys, if you liked it, share it, if you see the clips on Instagram or TikTok, share those, send them to a friend. If you see a segment that you know somebody would think about or talk about, then send it to them and get that conversation going. And until next time, we'll see you guys later. Bye-bye.
Bye.